A very good morning, everybody. May I request, if we have amongst the audience, Miss Maledika Sakia, Miss Aarti Manohar, Miss Mahita Mishra, Miss Rajbala, Mr. S.P. Singh, and Mr. Ganpati Jha, Gayatri Tanti, Shyam Das, Sarabjit Singh Ji. May I please request if you could kindly come at the front and meet Miss Anjana Singh Solanki, please. Thank you very much.
Even sky is not the limit for your business growth in today's thriving market, provided you are ready to learn and empower yourself with adequate knowledge and 21st century skills. Join Digital Saksham, an initiative of CII and MasterCard Center for Inclusive Growth, to scale greater heights of success day by day with marketing methods that really work. Learn and adopt digital marketing tools which will accelerate your business growth. Target the right audience in a speedy and cost-effective manner. Explore untapped business opportunities with the power of e-commerce. Get access to global markets through global value chains and expand your business beyond boundaries. There is no looking back. Digital Saksham, a CII initiative launched in 2020. It offers customized training in regional languages to small businesses. It handholds and supports MSMEs to digitize through its comprehensive training modules that include basics of digitization, basics of digital security, digitization and accounting, digital financial tools, trade and business opportunities. So what's stopping you? Log on to www.ciidigitalsaksham.com and register for free. Digital बनिए आगे बढ़िए. Was it about online banking? How to make or receive online payments securely? Are the payment frauds, phishing, ransomware worrying you at the onset of your digital journey? Don't worry. As you start the digital journey for your venture, always remember a little caution on our digital gateways can protect our online presence. The digital security is essential for safeguarding your data, identity, and assets in today's scenario. Join Digital Saksham, an initiative of CII and MasterCard Center for Inclusive Growth, and empower yourself with basics of digital security to safeguard your information and assets. Learn how simple tips, updates, firewalls allow us to work seamlessly. Digital Saksham, a CII initiative launched in 2020. It offers customized training in regional languages to small businesses. It handholds and supports MSMEs to digitize through its comprehensive training modules that include basics of digitization, basics of digital security, digitization and accounting, digital financial tools, trade and business opportunities. So what are you waiting for? Log on to www.ciidigitalsuction.com and register for free. Digital बनिए आगे बढ़िए. Paper-aided banking and finances are a thing of the past. They have today progressed to few clicks away through mobile apps. Financial and digital literacy is no longer a choice. It's a necessity today, especially for entrepreneurs, traders, or businessmen. Join Digital Saksham, an initiative of CII and MasterCard Center for Inclusive Growth. Get introduced to a gamut of modern digital financial tools and learn how to benefit from them for your business. Drive your business to offer a seamless experience to your customers with faster, transparent, and secure transactions, offering your customer a better experience for their time, efforts, and money. Grow your customer base digitally and build a better brand value for your business with more payments and money receiving options than before. So wait no further. Digital Saksham, a CII initiative launched in 2020. It offers customized training in regional languages to small businesses. It handholds and supports MSMEs to digitize through its comprehensive training modules that include basics of digitization, basics of digital security, digitization and accounting, digital financial tools, trade and business opportunities. So what are you waiting for? Log on to www.ciidigitalsuction.com and register for free. Digital बनिए आगे बढ़िए. The traditional way of bookkeeping and accounts has helped the traditional ways of working and kept them afloat for many years. But are they enough to meet the growing needs of a global market or sustainable for an expanding enterprise? Not anymore. Join the Digital Saksham initiative of CII and MasterCard Center for Inclusive Growth and learn about the goods and services tax, benefits of cloud computing, online accounting, and bookkeeping. What's more, learn how to avail digital financial services to grow your business without any financial roadblocks. Digital Saksham, a CII initiative launched in 2020. It offers customized training in regional languages to small businesses. It handholds and supports MSMEs to digitize through its comprehensive training modules that include basics of digitization, basics of digital security, digitization and accounting, digital financial tools, trade and business opportunities. So what are you waiting for? Log on to www.ciidigitalsuction.com and register for free. Digital बनिए आगे बढ़िए. Even sky is not the limit for your business growth in today's thriving market, provided you are ready to learn and empower yourself with adequate knowledge and 21st century skills. Join Digital Saksham, an initiative of CII and MasterCard Center for Inclusive Growth, to scale greater heights of success day by day with marketing methods that really work. Learn and adopt digital marketing tools which will accelerate your business growth. Target the right audience in a speedy and cost-effective manner. Explore untapped business opportunities with the power of e-commerce. Get access to global markets through global value chains and expand your business beyond boundaries. There is no looking back. Digital Saksham, a CII initiative launched in 2020. It offers customized training in regional languages to small businesses. It handholds and supports MSMEs to digitize through its comprehensive training modules that include basics of digitization, basics of digital security, digitization and accounting, financial tools, trade and business opportunities. So what's stopping you? Log on to www.ciidigitalsaksham.com and register for free. Digital बनिए आगे बढ़िए. Was it about online banking? How to make or receive online payments securely? Are the payment frauds, phishing, ransomware worrying you at the onset of your digital journey? Don't worry. As you start the digital journey for your venture, always remember a little caution on our digital gateways can protect our online presence. The digital security is essential for safeguarding your data, identity, and assets in today's scenario. Join Digital Saksham, an initiative of CII and MasterCard Center for Inclusive Growth, and empower yourself with basics of digital security to safeguard your information and assets. Learn how simple tips, updates, firewalls allow us to work seamlessly. Digital Saksham, a CII initiative launched in 2020. It offers customized training in regional languages to small businesses. It handholds and supports MSMEs to digitize through its comprehensive training modules that include basics of digitization, basics of digital security, digitization and accounting, digital financial tools, trade and business opportunities. So what are you waiting for? Log on to www.ciidigitalsaksham.com and register for free. Digital बनिए आगे बढ़िए. Paper-led banking and finances are a thing of the past. They have today progressed to few clicks away through mobile apps. Financial and digital literacy is no longer a choice. It's a necessity today, especially for entrepreneurs, traders, or businessmen. Join Digital Saksham, an initiative of CII and MasterCard Center for Inclusive Growth. Get introduced to a gamut of modern digital financial tools and learn how to benefit from them for your business. Drive your business to offer a seamless experience to your customers with faster, transparent, and secure transactions, offering your customer a better experience for their time, efforts, and money. Grow your customer base digitally and build a better brand value for your business with more payments and money receiving options than before. So wait no further. Digital Saksham, a CII initiative launched in 2020. It offers customized training in regional languages to small businesses. It handholds and supports MSME to digitize through its comprehensive training modules that include basics of digitization, basics of digital security, digitization and accounting, digital financial tools, trade and business opportunities. So what are you waiting for? Log on to www www.ciidigitalsaksham.com and register for free. Digital बनिए, आगे बढ़िए.
A very good morning to everybody. We are just about to begin the session. May I request all the people, the delegates who are there, if they kindly can join in for the session and be seated. We will be beginning our session, inaugural session shortly. For this, we have our Honorable Secretary, Mr. B.B. Swain, joining us. So I would request all the participants, as he comes, to kindly give him a round of applause, please. So we'll be starting shortly, please. Thank you. All the participants to kindly be seated, please. We have our distinguished guests here already there with us for the inaugural session. A very warm welcome and good morning to you all for the CII MSME Leadership Summit. May I now request Mr. Ankur Singh Chauhan, Executive Director CII, to kindly take over the session, please. Over to you, Ankur. Thank you.
A very good morning to everyone and welcome to the MSME Leadership Summit that we're organizing today. Just for everyone's information, with a membership base of over 9,000, CII enjoys very extensive representation of MSME sector within the Confederation. Over 67% of our membership actually comprise of the small and the medium enterprises across in the country. And there are many sectoral associations who are also the institutional partners for us. And at any given point in time, I represent over 3 lakh companies in the country, and out of which over 65 to 66% of them comprise of the small and the medium enterprises. Just for also everyone's information today, as we are connected here, we have been very successfully running a project called Digital Saksham jointly with MasterCard. And I'm happy to mention As part of this conference, almost 100 beneficiaries of the Digital Saksham project are connected with us virtually from over uh, 7 to 8 states comprising of UP, Telangana, Karnataka, Kerala, Punjab, Assam, and it's well connected with us virtually here, as you can see it on the screen, please. Without taking much of the time, may I now request Mr. Srikant Somani, Chairman, CIR, MSME National Council, to deliver the welcome remarks and also set the context for the conference, please.
Thank you, Ankur. And a very good morning to all of you here who've taken time out to attend this very important function. Good morning to all of you. I would like to warmly welcome Mr. Swain, the Secretary of MSME Ministry. He has been a very integral and important person as far as MSME is concerned and as far as we have been working with him. I also have my colleagues, Mr. Ashok Sahgal, who is the co-chair of the MSME Council, amongst others who are also here, who are co-chairs. I would like to recall what happened 3 years ago. The world went into a complete spin with COVID hitting. There was all that everybody was talking about was the VUCA world, the uncertainty, the global disaster, economic disasters, some countries going into a spin. But what really has emerged in 3 years, which has only strengthened India's belief in the digitization world. India was always one of those countries which was very strong in the digital space. You know about the IT, I don't have to tell it to you. And during this 3 years period, what really has happened as the global changes, the changes started taking place, the recognition of opportunity of England as a country where a lot of things could be brought in has become far more important. Opportunities are falling into our lap. And it is upon us whether we want to take advantage of it and how to take advantage of it. And one of the greatest challenges that we've always had, and the new requirement that would happen over the years, would be the recognition of how companies digitize themselves. And that takes us across every sector, whether it is micro, whether it is small, whether it is medium, or whether it is large. We, as a country, want to become a global leader as far as export is concerned in various fields. Engineering, electronics, services are something that we always talk about. But we don't talk about us micro industries, or small industries, and medium industries. So, a very important part of the economic system that we have, and as not the mean skills in total GDP, almost at 70% to that. Over these years, India has emerged as global leader in the space. Factors include a lot of very savage a central cover and growing digital. We expect the growth of things that are that his flashing, you will has as ESG has we your company that's on digital ministry space. These are going to be us. Therefore, it is evident that small minerals are well understanding digital distributes for, for efficiency, for their own company's good, and for their good. And this has been CII's endeavor. And thank you, MasterCard, who have joined us in this effort of reaching out to micro and small industries through a program called Digital Saksham, where along MasterCard, really along with us, we handhold micro industries to get them into understanding what digital literacy is all about. We do it in different vernaculars. We offer them tools that they could adapt and adopt into their own in their industries, in the small workshops that they have, so that we can actually bring this forward. And what can we do with it? We've already done. Our mission is to create digital literacy to 300,000 small and micro industries. And we've touched about 87,700 and some odd already. Today we're recognizing 2 micro industries who are here from Assam and other places also. So it's a great joy for me to see that when small industries are able to understand the importance of what digital space can do for them. So what we really do is to promote digitization among micro enterprises in India. The project focuses on equipping MSMEs with digital skills and know-how, helping them to build digital financial capabilities, leverage digital platforms to expand the market reach, diversify their customer base and create resilient supply chains. The program targets own account enterprise, OEEs, micro factory sector enterprise, and small enterprises, MSMEs. And while we're doing this, and I see the results, it really is gives me immense joy to tell you that Digital Saksham project has now been extended to more states, which are West Bengal and Odisha. We are presently working 29 states in 8 cities, 29 cities in 8 states. Today, we will celebrate the achievements and contribution of women entrepreneurs in the MSME sector. Women entrepreneurs are promoting inclusivity in MSME sectors by creating opportunities for other women to succeed in whatever their endeavors are. Women entrepreneurs are breaking down gender stereotypes and proving that they can be successful in any field they choose, and therefore creating a more vibrant and a dynamic business ecosystem in India. We have gone through uncertainties, and the government has really come across to help the industry. If it wasn't for the belief in the government's own thinking about MSMEs, we wouldn't have come so far. I will not take much time because there is only half an hour before the next session starts, and I would like to hear Mr. Swan. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you will enjoy the rest of the day. We have a lot of things planned here, and I really welcome all of you here, and I hope you have a very nice day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sumani. With this, may I now request Mr. Gautam Agarwal, Division President, South Asia, MasterCard, to deliver his address, please.
Namaste and a very good morning to everybody. It is an honor to share the stage with Ankit ji, Sumani ji, and Ashok ji, and of course, Secretary Surenji, and all these small business merchants that are here. This is a special event, one that celebrates success of small businesses who have championed digitization and leverage to grow and expand their business all over the world, actually. हम सब जानते हैं कि भारत के एमएसएमई सेक्टर, जिसको लघु व्यापारी भी बोला जाता है आज, इनका बहुत बड़ा योगदान रहा है देश की उन्नति में और देश की प्रगति में। इस देश में आत्मनिर्भरता की जो लक्ष्य और प्रधानमंत्री जी की जो भारत है कि 2047 तक एक विकसित देश बनाने की जो सपना है, उसको कल्पना पूरा करने में एमएसएमई सेक्टर का बहुत बड़ा योगदान रहेगा और इनकी सफलता एक मुख्य शिला रहेगी भारत के समग्र विकास में। 6 साल पहले यूएन जनरल असेंबली ने विश्व भर में एमएसएमई सेक्टर के अहमियत की हाईलाइट किया और हर देश की अर्थव्यवस्था में एमएसएमई सेक्टर के योगदान को रिकॉग्नाइज किया और उसको बोला गया कि यूएन सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स को अगर हासिल करना होगा तो एमएसएमई उद्योग का बहुत बड़ा योगदान रहेगा और इम्पोर्टेंट रहेगा। से लेकर आज तक एमएसएमई सेक्टर बहुत आगे आ चुका है। आज हमारे देश के अंदर लगभग 6.25 करोड़ ऐसे एमएसएमई हैं जो 11 से ज्यादा करोड़ लोगों को रोजगार प्रदान करते हैं। पिछले ही हफ्ते में एक सीआईटी इवेंट में गया था, उन्होंने एक और आंकड़ा दिया कि जो 6.25 करोड़ एमएसएमई हैं, अगर आप इनके परिवारों को भी देखें तो ये कम से कम 20-22 करोड़ लोगों को टच करते हैं हिंदुस्तान के अंदर। तो इन भी एमएसएमई सेक्टर तुम्हारा बहुत बड़ा है और ऑफकोर्स जीडीपी के जो आंकड़े देगा 30 से 35% इनका योगदान है इंडिया के अंदर। Infrastructure, in the last 5 years or so, between and ambitious projects like the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana have resulted in major advances in financial inclusion that actually the world is learning from. A jaw-dropping statistic that I learned just recently: 90% of India's population signed up for the digital ID program in less than a decade. Something like that has taken more than 2 decades in many other advanced countries. India's stat is actually become an example for the world to look at. It offers a wonderful opportunity to innovate and provide financial and digital services to the last mile, ensuring infrastructure that forms the building blocks for inclusive economic growth. Also, I'd like to congratulate the government of India for proactively developing programs and policies such as the account aggregator framework, the taken framework, and also the Mudra loans. Again, many of these have become examples that the world is learning from. I'm personally looking at how we can take Oken outside of India. आज ये प्रूव हो चुका है कि डिजिटाइजेशन एक बहुत नया जरिया है लघु व्यापारियों की मुश्किलों को दूर करने का। डिजिटल करने से लघु व्यापारी बड़ी आसानी से अपने बिजनेस ऑपरेशंस को ऑर्गेनाइज कर सकते हैं, अपना डिजिटल रिकॉर्ड रख सकते हैं, बैंकों से लोन ले सकते हैं और अपनी अकाउंटिंग आसानी से कर सकते हैं और इसको बाहरी देशों में ले जाने से भी उनको काम अपना काम कर सकते हैं। According to a Google report, digitally enabled businesses can grow profits 2 times faster than any offline store. आज मुझे बताते हुए बहुत गर्व हो रहा है कि जो हमारा प्रोग्राम सुमानी जी ने पहले बोला डिजिटल सक्षम, जो हमने CII और नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ माइक्रो स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस के साथ लॉन्च किया था, उसके जरिए हमने लगभग 85,000 लघु व्यापारियों को ऑलरेडी डिजिटल एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड कर दी है और हम लगभग 8 राज्यों से कर रहे हैं। इस प्रोग्राम के जरिए हमने व्यापारियों के सही टूल्स और ट्रेनिंग्स के माध्यम से संपूर्ण बना रहे हैं और बढ़ती हुई डिजिटल इंडिया की इकोनॉमी में शामिल होने का एक मौका दिया है। इतना पोटेंशियल होने के बावजूद हमारे देश के व्यापारी आज भी नेटवर्क्स और रिसोर्सेज से कनेक्ट नहीं कर पाते हैं, आगे नहीं बढ़ पाते। महिला व्यापारी खासकर आज भी बहुत चैलेंजेस का सामना कर रही हैं पर आज वो सबसे ज्यादा रिस्क है इस डिजिटल दौर में पीछे रहने के लिए. Unless these gaps are addressed with urgency and at scale, vast numbers of small businesses will continue to be left behind, and economies around the world will miss out on the jobs, services, innovation, and tax revenue these businesses could contribute to accelerate the post-pandemic economic recovery. At MasterCard, we believe that by combining technology and partnerships, we can help small businesses more easily overcome hurdles that have plagued them for years, from limited access to wider markets and financial services, and to meet their needs in needs to time consuming back office operations. जब एक व्यापारी उसकी जरूरत के अनुसार सपोर्ट जब जब एक व्यापारी को उसके जरूरत के अनुसार सपोर्ट मिलेगा, तभी हम मिलकर उन्नति और विकास के अगला कदम आगे बढ़ा पाएंगे. मास्टरकार्ड के जो प्रोग्राम्स हैं इंडिया में सफल हो रहे हैं, उनके द्वारा हमने पता चला है कि फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज और ट्रेनिंग को कंबाइन करने से जो गैप्स आज सिस्टम में हैं, उनको एड्रेस किया जा सकता है. और जो डिजिटाइजेशन की तरफ है, ये आपकी अर्थव्यवस्था और आपके कॉन्फिडेंस को और भी ज्यादा बढ़ा सकता है. डिजिटल सक्षम इसका एक बहुत बड़ा एग्जाम्पल है. लघु व्यापारियों को सपोर्ट करना हमारी कंपनी के डीएनए में ग्लोबली है. हम बहुत समय से व्यापारियों के साथ काम कर रहे हैं और उनकी मुश्किलों को हल कर रहे हैं. 2020 में मास्टरकार्ड ने ग्लोबल लेवल पे 100 करोड़ लोगों को, जिसमें से 5 करोड़ लघु व्यापारी और 2.5 करोड़ महिला व्यापारी रहेंगी, उनको सपोर्ट करने का प्रण लिया है और इससे उनके बिजनेस को उन्नति और तेजी बढ़ाने का प्रण लिया है. इस ग्लोबल कमिटमेंट के तहत इंडिया के अंदर ही हमने 200 करोड़ रुपए की कमिटमेंट करी है, जो भारत के स्मॉल बिजनेस को मदद करने को सपोर्ट करेंगे. मुझे खुशी और गर्व है कि पिछले 3 सालों में हमने बहुत सारे ऐसे सॉल्यूशंस इंट्रोड्यूस करे हैं जो आपको डिजिटल जो स्पेशली लघु व्यापारियों के लिए जो उनकी जरूरतों को मीट करें. कोविड के बाद हमने काफी सीखा है कि आपकी क्या परेशानियां हो सकती हैं जो हम हल कर सकते हैं. इंडिया आज एक बहुत बड़े डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन से गुजर रहा है. हम सभी का यही प्रयास होना चाहिए कि यहाँ से हर सूक्ष्म व्यापारी और हर महिला व्यापारी और हर किसान व्यापारी डिजिटल डिवाइड को पूरा कर सके. और ये तभी हो सकता है अगर हम सब साथ मिलकर चले और स्पीड से लास्ट माइल तक पहुंच जाएं. हम सब मास्टरकार्ड में कमिटेड है इंडिया को एक वाइब्रेंट डिजिटल इकोसिस्टम बनाने में और पूरी तरह भारत सरकार के साथ अलाइन है डिजिटल इंडिया के इस विजन को पूरा करने के लिए. मैं बहुत आभारी हूं सीआईआई का, जिन्होंने हम सभी सरकारी और इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स को हमारे व्यापारी भाई बहनों के बीच में इकट्ठा किया है और हमें ऐसा इंपॉर्टेंट विषय पर विमर्श करने का मौका दिया है. और मैं चाहूंगा कि मास्टरकार्ड इस जर्नी में सीआईआई और सरकार के साथ लगा रहे. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, Gautam. And I'm happy to share that the 85,000 beneficiaries that Gautam mentioned in his address, we have a few of them already present with us in this room. और अब मैं आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगा हमारे उन लाभार्थियों को उनसे रिक्वेस्ट भी करूंगा कि वो अपनी सफलता की कहानी जो उन्होंने हमारे साथ में साझा करें. और पहला नाम मैं लेना चाहूंगा मिस मालविका साकिया, जो कि हमारे पास आज मौजूद है, असम से आई है, पर ये अपना एक मालविका हैंड का कारोबार अपना वहां पर चलाती है.
नमस्ते, मेरा नाम मालविका साकिया, मैं असम से धमाजी मास्का में आई हूँ. मेरे मन की बात जो काम करना है उसके बताने के लिए ये आने का जो मिला, उसके लिए आप लोगों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद है. मैं हैंडलूम का काम करती हूँ, उसके साथ साथ भी मैं हमारे असम के जो ट्रेडिशनल है बिहू का जो लाड़ू पिठा वो खुद बनाता हूँ, खुद पैकेजिंग करता हूँ, खुद भी बेचता हूँ. हमारा जो धमाजी का मास्टर देना है डिजिटल, तो सीआईआई का मनुष्य गोगोई ने मेरे को बहुत हेल्प किया. मनुष्य गोगोई के साथ मैंने एक डिजिटल ट्रेनिंग लिया। ट्रेनिंग के बाद मैंने जो सीखा, मानसी गोगोई ने बहुत सिखाया। उसके मैंने गूगल पे, सोशल मीडिया, जो उद्यम आधार उसने एडॉप्ट किया, मानसी गोगोई ने कर दिया। उसके बाद में जो यूपीआई, जो फोन पे चलाता है, मैं जो कोड बनाकर हैंडलूम का जो बेचता है, उसकी यूपीआई के साथ भी जो पेमेंट लेता हूँ, देता है। जो मेरा असम की ट्रेडिशनल फूड है, वो जो बेचता है उसकी यूपीआई में लेता है। मैं जो उद्यम आधार में खुला था ना, उसका जो मुद्दा को लेने का सोचना है। उसके बाद मेरा जो छोटा एंटरप्राइज है वो बड़ा करने के लिए मैं सोचता है। और बनने में जो बनने में जो लोन मिलेगा, मैं एंटरप्राइज के लिए ज्यादा करूंगा। ऐसे ही मेरे मन की बात है। तो सोशल मीडिया में एक्टिव में रहता है। वो जो मैं कपड़ा बेचता हूँ वो सोशल मीडिया में मैं पहले देता हूँ। उसके बाद जिसको चाहिए कपड़ा पिठा जो चाहिए वो मेरे फोन कर दीजिए। मैं ऑनलाइन में भी देता हूँ। जो ज्यादा जो है मैं डीटीसी में ऑनलाइन में देता हूँ। हम आसाम से जो है, तो आप लोगों के लिए एक बात है, आप लोग बुरा ना माने। हमारे आसाम का जो ट्रेडिशनल फूड है बिहू का लाऊ पिठा, हम थोड़ा थोड़ा लेने आया। आप लोग कोई ना खाता है, आप लोग बुरा ना माने। हमारा जो मास्टर है मानसी गोगोई, उसने दे दिए। ये हमारा आसाम का जो टेक्निक का लाड़ू है, ये है। ये जो है हमारा आसाम का ट्रेडिशनल बिहू का, हम लोग में वो तिल पिठा, नारियल कोकोनट पिठा। तो कोकोनट को हमको असम से नारियल बोलता है, वो नारियल पिठा बोलता है। ये ये असम से तिल का लाडू बोलता है। बोलता है तिल का लाडू।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मौलवी साकिया जी।
मैंने तो जो बोलना है सही है वो बोल दिया। आप लोगों के कैसा लगा सुनकर नहीं जानता है। आप लोगों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
बहुत 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 धन्यवाद। और अब मैं मंच पर आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगा आरती मनोहर तांबे, जो कि एक औरत जो अपना वर्ल्ड चलाती है महाराष्ट्र के अंदर।
Thank you, अंकुर जी। गुड मॉर्निंग लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन। आज मैं यहाँ पे आपको ऑरा ब्यूटी वर्ल्ड को रिप्रेजेंट करने आई हूँ। आई स्पेशली थैंक्स CII and MSME to allow us to get educated and all these things about regarding the businesses and all. So actually ऑरा ब्यूटी वर्ल्ड हम लोग पिछले 17 साल से चला रहे हैं। एंड हम लोग पुणे, वेंगुर्ला नासिक, लातूर, ऐसे 5 से 6 जगह में भी है प्रेजेंट। डिफरेंट लोकेशंस पे जब हम लोग ऑपरेट कर रहे हैं, इस वक्त काफी सारे हर्डल्स थे, जिसमें काफी हम लोगों को आपकी वजह से बहुत छोटी छोटी चीजों में हम लोगों को आपकी वजह से सपोर्ट मिला। लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल व्हाट्सएप मार्केटिंग, जैसे डिजिटल मार्केटिंग, इन सब चीजों की वजह से काफी सारी चीजें हमें स्मूथली ऑपरेट करने में जो सपोर्ट हुआ वो काफी बड़ा था। पैंडेमिक एक ऐसा वर्ड था जो हम सभी के लिए बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट था डाइजेस्ट करने के लिए, बट हाँ, उसके बाद में जिस तरह का सपोर्ट ऑनलाइन मार्केटिंग का हम लोगों को मिला, उस वजह से आज हम लोग अप्रोक्सीमेटली 70+ एम्प्लॉयज हमारे इस वजह से एजुकेट हो पाए और अच्छी तरह से ट्रेन हो पाए, जिस वजह से सर्विसेज देने में काफी स्पीड हुआ और जो एंड टू एंड कस्टमर्स तक हम लोग अच्छे से कैटर कर पाए। स्पेशली ब्यूटी के इंडस्ट्री में हम लोगों ने ज्यादा करके 80% जो हम लोग प्रोडक्ट्स और वो सब यूज कर रहे हैं वो सारे ऑर्गेनिक और हर्बल बेस्ड है। प्लस वी आर लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू कम अप विद आवर ओन ब्रांड in beauty industry like manufacturing, that we are in process to start the some new brands as well, जिसका मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हम लोग जो MIDC कुडाल है, if you guys are aware of Maharashtra, then this comes in the Konkan part, so इस एरिया में हम लोग हमारे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग और ये सब शुरू कर दिए हैं, जिस वजह से हम लोग और अच्छी तरह से ऑर्गेनिक कॉस्मेटिक्स में और ऑर्गेनिक प्रोफेशनल रेंज में हम लोग कैट कर पाएंगे, जिस वजह से आपको और अच्छे से हमारे प्रोडक्ट यूज करने को मिलेंगे। And nowadays that we are promoting more towards organic things and all. जब हमने ये 17 years पहले शुरू किया था, it was really difficult for us to tell people like what are the things which are called organic and all. But आज लोग समझ पाते हैं, लोग पसंद भी कर रहे हैं, and they have faith in such kind of products. और इसमें इनफैक्ट जब ये डिजिटलाइजेशन और ये सब चीजें होने की वजह से हम लोगों को जिस तरह से हम लोग पहुंच पाए, इट वाज अ वेरी बिग अप्रोच फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, और इसीलिए मैं स्पेशली थैंक्स आप लोगों को बोलना चाहती हूँ, जो आपका इनिशिएटिव था, इस वजह से इट हेल्प अस टू टेक टू अ डिफरेंट लेवल, एंड थैंक्स अगेन फॉर दैट। थैंक यू।
और अब मैं आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगा श्रीमती नेहरू निशा जी, जो कि हमारे निशा चिकनकारी का काम चलाती हैं उत्तर प्रदेश में।
हेलो, नमस्कार सबको। मेरा नाम नेहरू निशा है और हम लखनऊ से आए हुए हैं। और जैसे कि हेलो, सीआईआई के द्वारा जो हमें डिजिटल सक्षम की जो ट्रेनिंग दी गई, यूपीआई के बारे में जानकारी जो दी गई, उसके बारे में जो सिखाया गया, उसकी बहुत सारे फायदे हम लोगों को मिले प्रेजेंट टाइम में। जैसे कि हम लोग बिजनेस चला रहे हैं, जैसे मेरा चिकनकारी का काम है, लखनऊ चिकनकारी हैंड वर्क होता है, वो काफी फेमस है, आप सभी लोग जानते होंगे, यूज भी करते होंगे। तो उसको क्या है ना, उसका पेमेंट लेने में हम लोग को पहले बहुत प्रॉब्लम आती थी, जैसे कि कभी कस्टमर के पास कैश नहीं है तो कस्टमर चला भी जाता था, तो इस तरह के जो प्रॉब्लम्स थे वो काफी सॉल्व हुई है और काफी बढ़ावा लोगों को मिला है। जो हमारा चिकनकारी का जो कपड़ा है, जो जिसकी कढ़ाई होती है, उसको हम लोग बाहर भी बेचने लग गए, क्योंकि पैसे देने की दिक्कत पहले बहुत आती थी। लेकिन इस समय क्या है कि हमारा पेमेंट भी ऑनलाइन आ जाता है और मैं अपना सामान कुरियर के द्वारा दे सकती हूँ। और हमारी जो एग्जीबिशन में बहुत ज्यादा सपोर्ट मिला है, क्योंकि ऑल इंडिया एग्जीबिशन हम लोग करते हैं, जैसे कि केरला भी जाते हैं, चेन्नई है, मुंबई है, कलकत्ता है, उड़ीसा है, मैसूर है, आगरा, हर तरह। तो वहां पे क्या हमारा जो पैसा होता है ना, वो बहुत उसकी सिक्योरिटी हो जाती है, और सिक्योरिटी के साथ साथ हमारी ट्रांसपेरेंसी भी रहती है कि हमारा सब कुछ हमारी आंखों के सामने रहता है अच्छे से। देख पाते हैं कि कहाँ पे कैसा क्या बिजनेस था, क्या नुकसान रहा, क्या फायदा रहा, तो उस चीज को बहुत अच्छे से हम लोग देख पाते हैं। और हम तो सीआईए का बहुत ही तहे दिल से शुक्रगुजार हैं कि उन्होंने इतनी अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी हम लोग को दी और एक ऐसी चीज बताई जो कि वाकई में हमारे लिए, यानी जितने लोग बैठे हो सबके लिए बहुत ही लाभदायक है। आप सभी लोग जानते हैं इस बारे में, तो मैं आप लोगों का भी नमस्कार रहते हैं जिन्होंने हमें यहाँ मौका दिया लखनऊ से आप लोगों के बीच में ये बातें रखने का, जो कि हम नहीं रख पाते। तो इसके लिए मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा और तहे दिल से शुक्रगुजार हैं आपके। और धन्यवाद बहुत बहुत।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और अब मैं आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगा श्रीमती राजपाला जी, जो कि अन्नपूर्णा जायका लिमिटेड दिल्ली से चलाती हैं।
नमस्कार सभी को। मेरा नाम राजबाला है और मैं वेस्ट दिल्ली से आई हूँ। और हमारा हम जो है खाने के तरह काम करते हैं और अन्नपूर्णा जायका के नाम से हमारी यूनिट है। और सीआईआई के माध्यम से हमने मास्टर कार्ड की और डिजिटल सक्षम की ट्रेनिंग ली। उसका हमें बहुत फायदा हुआ। हम पहले थोड़ी लोग के साथ मिलकर काम करते थे और हमें पैसे की बहुत दिक्कत होती थी। जैसे वेतन सर जी ने अभी बताया कि महिलाओं को बहुत ज्यादा परेशानी होती है काम करने में, वो बिल्कुल सच है सर। और फाइनेंशियली भी दिक्कत होती। और बैंक में भी जैसे लोन के लिए हम पहले जाते थे बहुत हमें परेशान होना पड़ता था। लेकिन जैसे ही हम सीआईआई की टीम से मिले, उन्होंने हमें ये ट्रेनिंग और उसके बाद हमारा एकदम आधा रजिस्ट्रेशन हुआ। एकदम हमने अन्नपूर्णा जायका के नाम से उधर एकदम आधा रजिस्ट्रेशन करवाया। उसके तहत हमारे 11 लाख का लोन जो है हमने अप्लाई कर दिया है। और मैं कल का ही एक वाक्य आपको बताती हूँ। मेरी बहन के साथ मीटिंग थी कल मेरे लोन के चक्कर में, तो उन्होंने कहा कि आपका कोई रजिस्ट्रेशन तो नहीं है। मैंने तुरंत उनको अपना अन्नपूर्णा जायका एकदम आधार कार्ड प्रिंट आउट और उनको दे दिया। तो मैंने फिर साफ सच में उनसे मिला कि रात वाला फिर कल से ही हम आपके जो है इंक्वायरी कर लेते और आपका मेरे को बड़ी खुशी हुई। और मेरा महिलाओं के ऊपर काम करने का बहुत ज्यादा फोकस है और महिलाएं खाना बनाने में बहुत सक्षम होती हैं। और आज शुद्धता और मिलावट का बहुत ज्यादा है। हम चाहते हैं कि हम बिल्कुल शुद्धता पे अपना फोकस करें और एक ऑर्गेनिक चीजों को हम बनाए, वो बिल्कुल ऑर्गेनिक और स्वास्थ्य के लिए लाभकारी है। और एक ऐसी टीम के साथ हमारे काम करने का हमें सौभाग्य मिला। ये मैं अपने आप के लायक समझती हूँ आपका। और धन्यवाद करती हूँ सभी का कि इससे हम आगे बढ़ेंगे और अपने देश का भी नाम रोशन करेंगे और महिलाओं को सक्षम बनाने में का काम करेंगे। थैंक यू। जय हिंद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और अब मैं आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगा एसपी सिंह, जो कि एसपी सिंह मोबाइल सोल्यूशन पंजाब में चलाते हैं।
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम एसपी सिंह है। मैं लुधियाना में मोबाइल शॉप चलाता हूँ। ये जो डिजिटल सीआईए का जो डिजिटल प्रोग्राम रखा गया, इसका नाम रखा गया सक्षम। और वाकई में ये सक्षम है, किसी को भी तरक्की कराने में पूरा सक्षम है, किसी की सोच को बढ़ाने में पूरा सक्षम है। क्यों? क्योंकि पहले इतनी प्रॉब्लम्स थी और खासतौर में गांव के अंदर जब काम करते हैं तो इतनी प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं कि फेस करना मुश्किल था। सोचते थे कि कुछ ऐसा हो जिससे कि हम बाहर भाग सकें। जैसे कस्टमर जो है मेरे पास लुधियाने का था, आज मेरे पास कस्टमर पूरे ऑल ओवर इंडिया से है। क्यों? क्योंकि मैंने यूपीआई का यूज किया, डिजिटल जितने भी फैसिलिटीज डिजिटल मार्केटिंग की हैं उनको लिया और आज यूज कर रहा हूं। और पैसों का इतना इजी इतना इजी कर दिया है कि मतलब कि सोच में नहीं आता था पहले भी कुछ ऐसा हो सकता है। क्यों? क्योंकि पेमेंट लेने जाना ही नहीं है, कहीं भी नहीं जाना। यहाँ से कोरियर करो, पहले पेमेंट आती है, बाद में कोरियर करते हैं। तो सोच नहीं थी पहले ऐसे। इतना सक्षम बना दिया है कि ऐसा लगता है कि हम सिर्फ यहाँ पे काम कर रहे हैं, थोड़ी सी ड्यूटी में बातें, बाकी सारा काम सक्षम की टीम करती है, ऐसा लगने लग पड़ा है। क्यों? क्योंकि इतना इजी हो गया, बहुत इजी भी कर दिया है। और मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगा सारी टीम का, सर का, कि सोच से परे जो काम कर दिया है। एक छोटे, अगर गांव की बात करें, आज गांव में तो एक छोटा रिचार्ज भी करना होता है ना, पहले यहाँ पे आना पड़ता था, फिर पैसे देते थे। आज दूर से भी कहीं से फोन आया था बस कि सर ये रिचार्ज कर दो, वो रिचार्ज कर देते हैं, पैसे आते हैं। सर इतना इजी है, पहले कहाँ था, कभी सोच में भी नहीं आता था कि एक मोबाइल का व्यक्ति जो रिचार्ज करे, कहाँ पे अमृतसर में बैठे हुए मोबाइल के कस्टमर को रिचार्ज कर सकता है। ऐसा था ही नहीं, कभी हुआ ही नहीं, सोच से परे था। और मैं सोचता हूँ कि ये वाकई में सक्षम है। और मैं अब उद्यम की तरफ भी जाने के, रजिस्ट्रेशन कराने की सोच रहा हूँ, ताकि मैं और भी अपने काम पे, मतलब कि दिमाग एकदम खुल जाए। जो दिमाग संकुचित परिधि में था, जो सोच नहीं थी, अब वो सोच बिल्कुल बदल चुकी है। अब आगे बढ़ने का जज्बा जो है वो और आगे, क्योंकि ऐसा लगता है कि साथ में तो वेद में खर्चने अकेला नहीं है। पहले बिल्कुल ही अकेला फील करते थे कि मैं खुद ही चलाना है, खुद ही सब कुछ करना है। लेकिन अब इतना इजी हो गया कि टाइम नहीं मिल पाता हमारे को। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Ladies and gentlemen, with this, I would now like to request Mr. B.V. Swing, Secretary, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, to kindly deliver this keynote address. His guidance has always been very valuable to us, please. Chairman, CII National MSME Council, Sri Srikant Somani ji, Co-Chairman Ashok Saigal ji, Gautam Agarwal ji, Ankur Singh Chauhan ji, my old friend Punna Swami ji is sitting right there. So he's a friend for so many years that I can't possibly mind without talking about him. Malavika Saikya ji, Arti Chandra ji, Nava ji, Rajwala ji, S.P. Singh ji. Eminent dignitaries, distinguished guests and participants. It is an immense pleasure to participate in the inaugural session of this MSME Leadership Summit. I would like to appreciate the commendable work done by CII and MasterCard, especially for the maiden edition of CII MSME Leadership Summit. The successful Digital Saksham deserves our congratulations. I think I really was listening very intently to all the beneficiaries of Digital Saksham. And what Mr. Singh said, I think, is a very, very valid point. He said it kind of opened up. It opened up his way of maybe looking at business, his way of looking at life. I think that itself deserves a great congratulations. So congratulations to CI, congratulations to MasterCard. I believe now we are running it in many states. 2 more states have been added. That's what I love. And beneficiaries is running into thousands. I wish the program becomes a still larger success with support of all stakeholders. I'm glad to know the theme for the summit, MSME Digital Footprint, Inclusion and Diversity. This is quite critical environment for MSMEs. Digital transformation is now a reality, and not so due to the pandemic. Digitalization plays a crucial role in driving inclusive growth by creating opportunities for economic development, improving access to essential services, and promoting social and financial inclusion. Recognizing this, we in the Ministry of MSME have launched a number of initiatives, ease of registration, We have been designed to have access to credit and technology and as a market access are some of our priorities. Digitalization can help MSMEs access online marketplaces, e-commerce platforms, digital payment systems which make it easier for MSMEs to reach customers beyond local markets, expanding their customer base and increasing revenues. Monitoring the procurement by CPSs for micro and small enterprises, reducing grievances of MSMEs and handling them, addressing issues of billing payments, all today are being done online. The registration count on MSME registration portal with them, together with Udyam Access platform, where we facilitate registration of those non-enterprises which do not have plan, has crossed 1.66 crore, with a declared employment of 1.91 crore. The fundamental project was launched by the ministry on 11/23. Industrial is 30 micro enterprises and formats from now is the September. In the initiative called Shakti, we are working towards convergence with other ministry, the stakeholders, step to put in place packages so that MSMEs can have access to information about schemes and benefits from them accordingly. Again, when I'm listening to the people who have taken benefit, I really like the way you said about taking the registration certificate. I think it's an important, and we are very glad that we are playing for empowerment. Some few of them are, and really we're very happy with the also spend the benefit of success. My personal congratulations to all. I will be very brief because I think we are about to start next program at 11:30. Just a little bit of good news for project of CVTMS to small and micro. So let's get the system of goes back. And we also know that government in this budget has increased 9,000 crore the purpose of this particular scheme. I mean, appreciation of it to this particular trust. And our target is to reach another 100,000 pipeline for volunteers. As quick time possible, substantially. This is something which quite obviously from CVPMC side and from the ministry side, I'm grateful to the government decision to influence the money so that the fee is round for micro and small, at least for launch of the crore of vehicles. So these are the governments ecosystem for the MSMEs from the consent of stakeholders continuously. This endeavor for cooperation from all of you. For the side of scenario for the civil sector, and appreciate the effort. And all of civils we can corporations to have this in a green and for the still which is necessary to keep at peace with a way that is transforming digitally. Thank you for your attention. Thank you so much, sir. With this, may I now invite Mr. Ashok Sato, the chairman of the CI MSME Council, to deliver the concluding remarks.
Thank you, Ankurji. Thank you, all the members of the audience, for being here for this session. First of all, I'd like to thank Secretary Mr. Swain for his taking time out to be with us today and hear all the great stories which you've heard from our entrepreneurs. और मैं जैसे थोड़ा हिंदी में बात करूंगा तो कि वो भी सारे समझ जाएं तो जो उन्होंने कहा है उससे हमें प्रेरणा मिलेगी और हमें और ये लगेगा कि ऐसे और स्कीम हम लेके जाएं और जिस तरह मिनिस्ट्री ने हमें इधर सपोर्ट किया है स्कीम में वैसे और सपोर्ट मिलती रहे जैसे हमेशा हमें मिलती रही है तो कि हम और लोगों तक ये चीजें पहुंचा सकें. So as Mr. Swain has mentioned, there are many schemes which the MSME ministry is supporting us with, and it is our duty, like in this program, to let everybody know how they can benefit from it. And the support the ministry has always made to make things easier and simpler. I hope Secretary Sahab would be very happy to hear that schemes like Udyam make it very easy to bank वाले देख के Udyam registration कहते हैं कि इनका लोन सैंक्शन हो जाए. यही तो इन स्कीम्स का उद्देश्य है.
इसके साथ मैं गौतम अग्रवाल जी की भी बधाई करना चाहूंगा. We appreciate Mastercard recognizing the power of this scheme which CII has set up, with the concept being floated by our chairman, Mr. Somani, a couple of years ago, and recognizing how digital outreach can really help small and micro industries. और जैसे आपने देखा होगा अग्रवाल साहब की जो एक्सपीरियंस है मास्टर कार्ड की, एक तरफ से ग्लोबल है और दूसरी तरफ से मिश्रित है इंडियन कल्चर से, जो कि उन्होंने आधी स्पीच हिंदी में दी आधी इंग्लिश में दी, ताकि दोनों चीजों की जो बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस हैं वो कंबाइन करके ही सफलता मिल सकती है. सो with that, I would like to now also mention गुरुजन पे हमने बोला कि उनकी सक्सेस स्टोरी सुनी है, वो बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है. कभी जो हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं उससे किसी को फायदा तो हो रहा है और उनका फायदा सुन के बहुत लोग आगे आएंगे इन चीजों का फायदा उठाने के लिए. सो my request to everybody who's here in the audience, please take this message forward. Digital outreach is a tremendous progress, is a tremendous changes for economic relationship with large multinational institutions like Mastercard can help tremendously, and we will see always there to help promote such good ideas. So with that, I'd like to thank everybody who is here today for the bias, and thank you very much.
Thank you for the wonderful message, and thank you to all our distinguished speakers. I would now request to all the participants to kindly be seated. We have the Honorable Minister's Ministry of MSME. They're on their way. And our next session is going to be with the Honorable Minister and Minister of State, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
You press yes, no question. Now we need to place blanks.
Sunita? Ladies and gentlemen, our honorable ministers are actually a bit, arriving a bit late. So in the interest of time, we are beginning with our next session. And after this session, we will have the special sessions with the ministers, Ministry of MSME. To begin with, I welcome you all to the session on the FinTech Bridging Access to Finance for MSMEs. We have our distinguished set of panelists and experts for this very session. May I extend a warm welcome to Mr. P.N. Shetty, CEO, Rupee Boss Financial Services Private Limited, to kindly come on the stage, please. May I invite Ms. Namrata Rao, Strategy and New Initiatives, CEO's Office, Jakarta. Mr. Mukesh Gulati, Zonal Manager, Digital Saksham Project. Mr. Anil Kumar Gupta, Partner, Microsafe Consulting. We also will be joined by Mr. Ronak Shah, co-founder and CEO, Online PSB Loans Limited. He's on his way. He will be joining us shortly. And to moderate this distinguished set of panel, we have with us Ms. Anandita Singh Mankotia, Director, Public Policy, MasterCard. I would now request Ms. Mankotia to kindly take over the session, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CII's MSME Leadership Summit. Before we begin the panel, I'd like to call upon two beneficiaries of the Digital Saksham project, Sarabjit Singh and Gayatri Kante, to please share their stories. नमस्ते, मेरा नाम गायत्री है। मैं असम से आई हूँ, असम धमाजी मास्को एरिया से। थैंक यू एवरीवन फॉर गिविंग मी दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी कि मैं आप लोगों के साथ मेरा सक्सेस स्टोरी शेयर कर पा रही हूँ। तो मैं पहले कहना चाहती हूँ कि मैं हैंडलूम का काम करती हूँ और मेरा खुद का लूम है और मैंने अभी मेरा जो लूम का काम है एक्सपेंड किया है मैंने और उससे मैं कपड़ा बुनाई एम्ब्रॉयडरी का काम करती हूँ। और जो मैंने आज ये एम्ब्रॉयडरी किया हुआ ये हमारा जो मुंडा का ट्रेडिशनल ड्रेस है मैंने ये खुद किया है मशीन पे, तो रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए आई हूँ आप लोगों के पास। हमारे एरिया का क्लस्टर ट्रेनर है मामुश्री गोगोई जी, उन्होंने मुझे जो ट्रेनिंग दिया हमें जो यूपीआई के थ्रू हम कैसे हमारा मतलब हम लोग तो गांव से है ना, तो कैसे हम यूपीआई के थ्रू हमारा काम कर सकते हैं बिना कहीं गए हैं हम कैसे कर सकते हैं वो उन लोगों ने सिखाया। मामुश्री जी थे, मामुश्री जी ने आया मैं और मालविका दीदी साथ ही में ट्रेनिंग लिए थे। 1 साल अभी हो गया मैं यूपीआई के थ्रू अपना ट्रांजेक्शन कर रही हूँ। तो उससे हमारा मैंने यूपीआई अडॉप्ट किया है और उद्यम आधार का भी अडॉप्ट किया हुआ है अभी। और मैं ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि जो हम बैंक में पूरा दिन हम, क्योंकि हम लोग रूरल एरिया का है, तो वहाँ पे हमारा जो बैंक है कभी वहाँ पे नेट भी नहीं मिलता, लिंक भी नहीं घूमेगा, हम पूरा पूरा दिन लाइन में खड़े रहते हैं और जाके पता चलता है कि अभी नहीं है, कि लिंक नहीं है, आपका काम नहीं होगा। तो जो मैं जहाँ पे कपड़ा बुनाई करती हूँ, जो बेचती हूँ, या फिर मुझे जो ऑर्डर आता है कि जो पैसा का ट्रांजेक्शन होता है वो रुक जाता है, तो मेरा काम भी नहीं होता है। पूरा दिन मैं बैंक में खड़ी रहती हूँ और मेरा काम होता भी नहीं है, और ऊपर से जो पैसा का लेन देन है वो मेरा जो ऑर्डर होता है वो रुक जाता है। तो ऐसा अभी वो सब कुछ नहीं है, मैं घर बैठे ही वो सब कुछ कर पा रही हूँ बिना बैंक गए ही। और उद्यम आधार का जो अभी मैंने रजिस्ट्रेशन किया हुआ है, ममुश्री जी ने करवाया है, उससे मुझे बहुत फायदा हुआ है कि मैं अभी सोच रही हूँ कि मैं जो मुद्रा लोन है वो मैं लेके मेरा जो लोन का काम है वो मैं एक्सपांड करना चाहती हूँ सभी मतलब कि ऑनलाइन के थ्रू भी मैं काम करना चाहती हूँ। जैसे कि अब हम लोग कभी भी अगर खरीदारी करना हो तो हम जो फ्लिपकार्ट अमेजोन ऐसे में डाल के हम लोग अपना मतलब जो चाहिए होता है हम लोग होम डिलीवरी ऐसे हम लोग कर लेते हैं। तो मैं सोच रही हूँ कि मैं भी ऐसा, मेरा प्रोसेसिंग अभी चालू है। जो होगा, मैं जो कपड़ा एम्ब्रॉयडरी करती हूँ और बुनाई करती हूँ वो सब मैं ऑनलाइन का जो अमेजोन है, फ्लिपकार्ट है, ऐसे में मेरा वहाँ पे अपलोड करने के लिए मैं सोच रही हूँ, ताकि मुझे सुविधा हो और मेरा बिजनेस और एक्सपांड हो। मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा आप लोगों के साथ मेरा एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करके। No doubt Assam is a beautiful place, but yes, the main beautiful part is the kind-hearted people and their simplicity. जैसे कि आप लोगों ने मालविका जी को देखा, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, है कि नहीं? तो प्लीज डू कम, डू विजिट असम। बहुत अच्छा लगेगा आप लोगों को असम पे आके, जो वहाँ का कल्चर है आप लोगों को बहुत अच्छा लगेगा। मैं डेफिनेटली कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ आप लोगों को कहना चाहती हूँ, तो आइए असम विजिट कीजिए। और वहाँ का जो बिजनेस हम लोगों ने, मैं तो सिर्फ एक एग्जांपल हूँ मालविका, हम हमारा वहाँ पे ऐसा कितना लोग है जो ऐसा काम कर रहा है, और यूपीआई का थ्रू वो जो मास्टर का शेयर का वो एडॉप्ट करके काम अपना स्टार्ट किया है। ऐसे मैं और एक बात कहना चाहती हूँ, जो रूरल वुमन है उनको कभी ऐसा अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला ही नहीं कि वो अपना जो मतलब कि प्रतिभा है वो दिखा सके। सभी लोग कपड़े बुनाई करता है, लेकिन किसी को ये अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला नहीं था, अभी मिल रहा है। और मैं डेफिनेटली ये गारंटी के साथ कहना चाहती हूँ कि और 1 साल अगर मनुष्य जी ने हेल्प बहुत सा हेल्प कर दिया है, अगर वो करेंगे तो 1 साल में हमारा जो मास्को एरिया है बहुत डेवलप हो जाएगा। तो थैंक यू, प्लीज कम डू विजिट द सम एंड हम लोगों को सपोर्ट करने के लिए और यहाँ बुलाने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
May I now invite Ganpati to come to the stage and please share his experience with us.
नमस्कार सभी को, और मैं तो रहते सभी को नमस्कार। मेरा नाम गणपत जी है, मैं यूपी प्रिंसिपल मेरी फाइनेंस है और मेरी कंपनी है ये सोल एनर्जी पे काम करती है। डिजिटल सक्षम में बहुत ज्यादा मैं आता हूँ सक्षम करने का आसानी
फ्यूचर है उसको भी मैंने लोगों उसके लिए मैं अपने मेंटर हमारे के दूसरा एमएसएमई सीआईए तो दूसरा इसमें सभी का
Thank you, and thank you for those extremely motivational stories. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start with the first panel discussion of the day. The session is on fintech bridging access to finance for MSMEs. And I have with me on the panel Namrita Rao, Strategy and New Initiatives CEO Office, Jakarta. Mr. Ronak Shah, co-founder and CEO Online PSB Loans Limited. P.N. Shetty, CEO Rupee Boss Financial Services Private Limited. Mr. Mukesh Gulati, Zonal Manager Digital Saksham Project. And Mr. Anil Kumar Gupta, Partner Microsafe Consulting. Prior to this session, I think our esteemed speakers have already made a lot of context setting, highlighting the role of MSMEs, not just in India's economy, but on the global stage as well, which also led the United Nations to adopt a resolution which recognized the role the sector will play in achieving the SDGs by 2030. Secretary MSME also outlined the steps which the government has taken to facilitate supply of credit to the sector, including the credit guarantee scheme, entity DigiLocker, and so on. However, data still reveals that NBFCs and banks meet only 15% of the credit requirement of this very critical sector, which contributes as much as 30% to India's GDP. And that, ladies and gentlemen, sets the stage for our fintech industry, which is trying to plug in these loopholes. So before taking any more time, let me start asking questions to the panel. If I may refer to you first. We're seeing a lot of fintech firms focus on providing credit to MSMEs through platforms such as yours. How well has fintech industry been able to bridge this gap so far?
Buddy? I think before starting, I think we all should give a credit to the biggest disruptor of technology in the country. So can you tell me who is the biggest disruptor in the technology sector? One of the biggest disruptor. It's government of India, right? That's the biggest disruptor in this we're taking so many huge steps. I think that is changing the entire landscape of fintech in the country, right? So I think one recent two studies people who said that it will touch about the sector will touch about $200 billion at this this globally. And one more study from Boston says that it was about 100. So the figures side, but let me make it to the two parts. One, revenue of 30 lakh, that is 100 USD. And if I think 20 lakhs for service, right? And if it is more than 30 lakh, then obviously the fintech is very, very simple now. You have GST data, banking data, growth data, and customers' other income. So it is easy to learn. I think you don't need to use lots of maybe fintech there. It's going to become simple by the way. And since where the stores become very easy for us to be in the sector. The biggest challenge is I think 3.2 is the GST number. So I think current which are paying GST. I think the challenge is the system the approximate plus in India. We have the system prepare and this that's a big challenge. Which fintechs are solved on a daily basis, right? So I think, and what is coming? I think what we are seeing is maybe just to cut the iceberg. So what is coming in, that's through fintech, it's going to come up in a big way. And again, as digital currency, CBDC, and one more bigger disruption, which I think we only can miss is see, right? Open network digital funds, right? Again, fintech will play a large role, and green finance. I think that's a big sector in the country. And last but not least is secured loan. Again, fintech is going to come in a way where once all the assets comes under DigiLocker, then secured lending will become that much easier to do. Think about all these secured proper document coming in DigiLocker. Security is very good. I think that is just a matter of time to just try and complete in the coming months and years. So that's interesting space. I think moving in this space, I think exactly will be help.
Let me pivot to you, Ronak. The fintech has actually made rapid strides, and we're seeing an acceleration in supplying credit. But are you satisfied with the pace? या आपको लगता है कि और होना चाहिए? And how do you think? आपको क्या लगता है that fintech ये gap कैसे access को credit करेगा?
Hi, Nandita.
So probably to answer your question straight, if you ask us or anyone, we will never be satisfied. If we are satisfied, then probably we have reached the tip of the iceberg. But probably the kind of strides we are making in payments and lending in this country, probably not for us sitting here, but probably world is looking at us. And just to give you a few examples, not only in MSME lending, but let's say agri lending also, the kind of technology, and probably we don't like to call it a fintech, we call it technology, because technology we have seen simplifies the process for anything big. Earlier we used to order our groceries the way now we order, or probably we used to hire a cab and now we hire. Similarly, technology is playing a significant role in this industry. Yes, the technology is fintech, but it's simple technology which is making everyone's life simpler. And just to take few examples, the way UPI was, and it got in the country in past 2-3 years, we got close to a billion transactions. But through technology and with initiatives of government, now let's say everyone who is paying GST, finance or probably among disbursed in the account real time. So probably that solution is really should be tested in the largest of the private sector and public sector banks are going to launch these initiatives pretty soon, and pretty soon I will say as early as next month. So those are the kind of solutions now. Let's say credit to agriculture. They were talking about MSME. Credit to agriculture. Now there are solutions being developed. The state governments are digitizing influence. So the farmers need to go to a bank and it's up to 1.6 lakh. The Kisan credit card amount will be real time disbursed in the farmer's account. And taking points further, see, in India, we say there are 6.5 crore MSMEs, but officially and unofficially the number is close to 8 CR. The people who are filing GST are close to 1.3 CR, and probably the only number which is very critical for MSMEs. Okay, that's close to 1.1 CR. Recently, along with us and under the aegis of CB, we have came out with a routine assistant code. Flexibility to from finding some benefits to MSMEs are huge. My only thing is that MSME also need to be more often to come to system rather than avoiding GST or filing because the benefits are large, and as we forward, we discuss about it.
Great. Thank you. Moving on to Anil. Microsave is deeply invested in financial, economic, and social inclusion across geographies in the globe. So, what are your experiences and how other markets, other geographies are solving for this problem? What has worked, what has not worked, and any suggestions in terms of regulatory space going forward?
Thanks, Anandita, for this very interesting question. This is how I look at it. I'll just divide it into two parts. First part, let me talk about what's really happening globally. And second is that what is that we learned and what is that we can do in India. So if you look at different models, so classically, I would like to divide them to two. One is what we are calling traditional models, which is typically a balance sheet led model, which is what most of the banks they do. Actually, they look at the balance sheet and then they basically provide the loans. So something on this sort is has been done for someone on back in USA. So they have taken it to the small enterprises, and this is one very interesting example that we see in that market. Other, which is much more interesting, and wherein we have people on the dais, and there are a lot of talks that are going on. We define them more like a new way of doing the access to credit part of it. So, and within that, there are again multiple models. So, one very important model is something like, say, peer-to-peer or business platform. This is something that we are seeing all across the world. Say, for example, Lending Club in USA started long back, and we are seeing this as in the regulatory space even in India. So, of course, I'll not go into the details of different type of practices which are floating around under the name of P2P in India. So that's a separate topic in itself. Second is what we call it crowdfunding. So even in crowdfunding, there are two ways to basically provide this. One is that it could be equity based, and second could be something what we call it reward or donation based. So if you look at equity funding, so Crowdcube in UK has been pioneer, and they have been raising equity for the small enterprises. And in Netherlands, by the fintech by the name June has basically pioneered the idea reward or donation based thing. I just wanted to slightly add one more example that we are doing even in India, what we are calling it micro equity. So, in fact, as probably you may not be aware that some of the things that we do around the fintech is that we run an accelerator in India. And as part of that, one of our partner has experimented with micro equity in India, that if they put in some micro equity in small enterprises and they link it with productivity or the gains that they have, and they share something out of that, so it becomes a kind of a quasi equity, and eventually it pays off. This experiment has been done well, but of course I would say still it's too early to say whether it would be a successful model. Third is invoice-based lending, which is very common across the market. Fourth is, which is very large, and it is all about merchant and e-commerce-based financing. And you know that Amazon has been doing it in US, and MUPay has been doing it in China. So they are very large, very successful models. And the last is flow-based lending. Actually, a lot of things which are happening, which I think Ronak also spoke about, is that how do you use data and how do you use it for the flow-based lending. So that's all about like what's happening in global market. And once you see that what is that we are learning and what is that we can apply, so one thing that you see that a lot of these things are riding on data. So you have the data layer, or say someone who is sharing the data, whether it's a alternate data or say financial data or some other type of data on the basis of which you can make the credit decision. But there are three things which typically I would like to say. One is all about awareness and the literacy. And why I'm saying awareness and literacy is that this is very important from the demand side. जो entrepreneur है उसको मालूम ही नहीं है कि उसको क्या मिल सकता है, कैसे मिल सकता है, तो जो इक्वेशन है आपकी इक्वेशन कंप्लीटली लॉपसाइडेड हो जाती है. सप्लायर है, सप्लायर अपने हिसाब से डिजाइन करता है, डिमांड करने वाला जो रिसीवर है उसको मालूम ही नहीं क्या करना है. So that becomes the first thing that we really need to learn and better do that. Second is that fintechs and banks, it seems many a time they are two sides of the coin. So they don't meet, but eventually it is not how it will work. मोस्टली मार्केट में आप देखेंगे कैपिटल कहाँ से आती है, कैपिटल बैंक्स के पास से आती है, क्योंकि बैंक्स चैनल है जहाँ पे हम सेविंग रखते हैं और वो ही सेविंग इंटरमीडिएट करके हम लोग बैंक्स लैंड करते हैं. तो ये पार्टनरशिप नहीं होती है, सो देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम इन द सेंस fintechs cannot lend because they have limited capital. They are not able to borrow if banks decide not to lend to them, and this becomes a chicken and egg story. It's the second part of it. And third, which is related to, is the regulatory environment. So regulatory environment, basically, it allows that fintechs and the banks, they speak to each other, they collaborate and partner. And second is that it protects the consumers, because अभी आप बहुत ध्यान से देखेंगे. So I remember it was 2017 or 18. First time there was a large scale clampdown on fintechs, lending fintechs. That happened in Indonesia. 600 Chinese apps, they were banned overnight, and they were using all type of possible threats to recover their money. Nothing to be basically discussed here. And we have seen these things happening very regularly in India. Like RBI has come out with something, they are saying कि जो regulated entities that we want to control, and but there are a lot of entities which they do not regulate. Say, for example, states are regulating something like the jet fund. So they are asking MIT or the government to basically take action on all that. So we are seeing that it's very important that we protect the consumers. And of course, a lot of these things can be tested, tried, and understood if we have a sandbox type of environment. This is something that we are already seeing that we are working on it, and I think other speakers they are going to talk more about that. Thank you.
Correct. Thanks, Anil. Namrata, moving on to you. For a complex market like India, what is the next big disruption you see in this space? And just a follow up to that, what role would artificial intelligence play in helping MSMEs leverage digital platforms at a scale? Because the problem which we are seeing right now is the issue of scale.
Absolutely. So I'll just give a quick background of what we do before I jump into the disruption. Jakarta is a fintech. We handle very large digital lending mandates for public sector banks, private banks, global banks, NBFCs. And we have an outside in and an inside out view of the challenge from the lender's perspective. And whether it's operationally or technically, because there are a lot of legacy systems running, all of that, that challenge is massive at their end as well. So for us to do and enable lending at scale, it's really, we need to look at newer technologies, newer methods of changing existing processes and methods of evaluating MSMEs to be able to lend to them effectively. So to use AI, and there's been an explosion of data, all of us know, and my co-panelists also mentioned GST, banking, ITR, all of these data sources now being available digitally means that it's possible to assess an MSME in minutes and actually disburse into accounts in, in a few hours or even real time. That's of course the goal for all of us. And we see that, and this is something that we do at Jakarta, we've built a scoring model based on various data sources, GST, banking, ITR, and they give a lens into the MSME business. Because finally, if you want to solve this problem, you have to build transparency and visibility so that lenders can understand MSMEs, because each MSME is unique. We're talking about 8 crore MSMEs, and all of them, whether it is Malvika ji or any of the others that I hear, the businesses are different, whether they are micro, small, medium entities. And using AI, it is possible to process and quickly decision to lend to the MSMEs. And that's the only way we can take advantage of the account aggregator framework that's coming up, open protocols that have been set up. So we are at a point where the foundations are laid out. And using AI, AIML technology and scoring models, you can get credit faster, and in time to the MSMEs.
Thanks. Ronak, I'm going to come to you to add a bit more on that because I believe you're working also on a similar model. But first, Mukesh, if I may come across to you, I'd like you to please share with our audience here some perspective on digital Saksham. And as a follow-up to that, we've heard all the panelists address the supply side issues of credit, if I may say so, to MSMEs. We'd like to hear from you the demand side obstacles that we're seeing in the ecosystem at this point of time. What are the impediments to adoption of digitization and accessing credit through digital platforms when it comes to MSMEs?
May I speak in Hindi? हम लोग शायद यहाँ दिल्ली में रह करके इतने यूज टू हैं डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म्स को यूज करने के लिए कि हम जब कंट्री साइड में जाते हैं या आसाम में, कर्नाटका में, पंजाब में, वहाँ अभी हम लोगों का कुछ 5 लोगों का ग्रुप है, हम लोग फिर लगाई है जो फील्ड बेस पे काम करती है, कम्युनिटी रिसोर्स पर्सन भी है उसमें। तो अभी तक हमारा आउटरीच कुछ 1 लाख लोगों तक हुआ है, एंटरप्रेन्योर्स और स्मॉल बिजनेसेस तक। उसमें से 15,000 लोगों ने एक्सेप्ट किया कि आप हमको थोड़ा ट्रेनिंग दीजिए कि क्या है ये। उसमें से 5,000 लोगों ने फाइनली एक्सेप्ट किया है कि हम इसको अडॉप्ट करेंगे। तो काफी बड़ा नंबर है, 1 लाख, फिर 15,000, फिर 5,000। ये डिजिटल सेक्शन के तहत ही हो रहा है, जो कि 8 स्टेट्स में 23 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में ये पिछले 1 साल के दौरान जो ये काम हुआ है, उसके आधार पर मैं आपको ये कह सकता हूँ कि जो चीजें मुझे बहुत बस होगी ये तो यूज हो ही रहा होगा, वो वहां नहीं है। सो मेरे ख्याल से सबसे बड़ी जो इशू है वो ये है कि अवेयरनेस नहीं है कि क्या पॉसिबिलिटीज हैं, किस तरह के डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म्स अवेलेबल हैं, लोग इसका कैसे इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। तो यूपीआई नहीं सुना हुआ है, या डिजिटल पेमेंट्स का सिस्टम नहीं सुना हुआ है, या फेसबुक के बारे में नहीं मालूम है। तो ये जो अवेयरनेस है, ये इसके ऊपर ऑलरेडी गवर्नमेंट काफी काम कर रही है, और बहुत लार्ज स्केल के ऊपर एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स रेडियोज पे, कम्युनिटी रेडियोज पे, अखबारों में, ये सब तरीके से आ भी रही है। दूसरे लोग काफी तेजी से एक्सपेंड कर रहे हैं। और उसमें हमने ये देखा कि अगर लोग अडॉप्ट भी करने लगते हैं, मतलब एक्सेप्ट करते हैं कि हाँ ये हमको चाहिए, तो उनका जो दूसरा बड़ा चैलेंज आता है वो अवेयरनेस का चैलेंज, वो है ट्रस्ट का। मुझे लगता है कि अगर कुछ उनको बताया जा रहा है कि ये पेमेंट ऐसे करेंगे आप, तो उनको लगता है कि उनके सारे पैसे ना निकल जाए, बैंक खाली हो जाए, उनका बैंक अकाउंट, तो बड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी। तो ट्रस्ट के लिए somebody locally उनको ये भरोसा दिला सके कि मैंने ये कोशिश की थी, अगर आप दिक्कत नहीं आएंगी, काम करेंगे, पैसे अननेसेसरी नहीं निकलेंगे। दूसरे लेवल पे जो चैलेंज मैंने देखा है, थर्ड लेवल पे, कि वो ट्रस्ट भी कर लिया तो वो ट्रायल्स करते हैं। तो ट्रायल्स करते समय कभी कभी तो कोई गलतियां होंगी, टेक्निकल ग्लिचेज आएंगी, तो उनको सॉल्व करने के लिए कोई उनको हैंड होल्ड करने के लिए होना चाहिए। So I'm seeing that these are 3 stages. But the kind of inputs that they are essentially people are looking forward to is the UPI, which is the biggest thing. उसमें पेमेंट्स का जो पैसे का लेन देन है वो सबसे ज्यादा चल रहा है। उसके बाद हमने देखा कि नेक्स्ट स्टेज के ऊपर आता है कि आप इंफॉर्मेशन, फेसबुक किस तरह से कोई हैंड तो जैसे आपने बताया कि हमारा प्रोडक्ट बनता है, अब उसका अगर किसी को डिजाइन बेचना चाहते हैं तो फेसबुक पे आप दिखा सकते हैं। आपने कोई बैम्बू की बास्केट्स बनाई है और नई तरह की बास्केट है, तो आप उसको थ्रू अपने डिजाइन बेच सकते हैं। ये खत्म हो रहा है। दूसरे नंबर पे फिर एक डिजिटल लिटरेसी के दौरान वो जो उद्यम है भारत, वो एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है, जिसमें लोग उसको एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं कि अगर हमारे को ये उद्यम आधार मिल जाता है तो फिर बैंक से लोन लेने की या फिनटेक से मिलने की पॉसिबिलिटी बढ़ जाती है। तो ई कॉमर्स एक चौथा है। Next का लेन देन somehow is the biggest gainer at this point of time. But I think it will take time to take it forward.
To take it forward. Great. Absolutely. Please go ahead, Namrata.
मिस्टर गुलाटी ने एक्चुअली ट्रस्ट मेंशन किया ना, थॉट मैं उसके बारे में थोड़ा बात करूंगी। क्योंकि लोग जब टेक्नोलॉजी सोचते हैं तो सोचते हैं कि उसमें एक मतलब क्योंकि कोई इंसान इन्वॉल्व नहीं है तो ये बहुत कोल्ड प्रोसेस है, कोई डिसीजन ले रहा है और एमएसएमईज को खुद को जानकारी नहीं है कि ये डिसीजन कैसे ली गई है। एंड इनफैक्ट मैं एक बात बताऊंगी कि हमने जीएसटी का जो स्कोर बनाया है, जो स्कोर हम जनरेट करते हैं और लेंडर्स को देते हैं, हम वो सेम रिपोर्ट एमएसएमईज को भी देते हैं, बिकॉज उनको भी जानना चाहिए कि उनका बिजनेस कैसे चल रहा है, उनकी बिजनेस में जो उनके बायर्स हैं, उनके सेलर्स हैं, उनके साथ उनकी रिलेशनशिप अच्छी है, क्या बेसिस पे लेंडिंग की डिसीजन हो रही है। एंड इनफैक्ट थोड़े लेंडर्स आर वर्किंग ऑन दिस ताकि एक डायलॉग हो with the MSMEs so that credit does not become something that is difficult for MSMEs, but rather a discussion with the workers.
Great. Anil, if I may come back to you, we're talking about leveraging technology to bridge the credit gap for MSMEs. But what are the other variables you see from your perspective at play over here?
So actually, see, like before we even talk about those variables, I think we should be answering one question: is that why are we doing this thing, right? So in MicroSave, we use a small framework for that. Like if we are working with small enterprises, MSMEs, what is that we want? So we call it SAFE framework, SAFE. S stands for sustainable, A is for A is for access, F is for formalization, and E is for their ability to create their ability to create employment. So if you look at sustainability part of it, so you'll realize that many of them they are not sustainable. I'm just layering it with women, with gender also,
Please go ahead.
because अभी जितने भी participants आज ने बात की mostly women थे, and they face different type of challenges, rather more challenges than small enterprises. So they realize that like most of these enterprises are not sustainable. And if you talk about autonomy of organization or autonomy of that, enterprises, they find it difficult to be autonomous, particularly when they are small. And if they are women, what we see is 1 out of 5 only they say that they are autonomous. So remaining 5 में से 4 जो लोग हैं वो ये बोलते हैं कि उसके एंटरप्राइज में किसी ना किसी की दखलंदाजी रहती है. It could be husband, brother, sister, brother, father, or son, anyone actually for that matter. So that's the second part of it. Third part is all about formalization. I think मॉर्निंग में भी डिस्कशन हुआ था, और ये ना नॉट ओनली इंडिया में देख रहे हैं, डिफरेंट कंट्रीज में भी देखते हैं कि if your organization is not formal, they are not eligible for many facilities. That includes cheaper access to credit. And the fourth is ability to generate their employment. So this is in India is very low. हम जो हमारा estimate है small enterprises में, most of the people they work on their own or their family members they are working on it. So it's like that. It's a different story actually altogether once you go into deeper into it. And if you look at the enterprises, 99.5% of enterprises in India they are small. If you don't know about that. Now coming to that, like what are the things? Actually, I think we have discussed these things, that access to credit is of course one very important thing, but is that going to solve the problem? Whether it will make safe compliant actually all the organization, whether they are like they will become autonomous, they become sustainable. Probably, I think it's too much to ride on one single thing, that is access to credit. There are 4 or 5 things that we recommend actually, and that is what we see which is there. First is all about how do you build venture by mentoring and networking. So this is something that आप लोग digital section में try भी कर रहे हैं. So this is very important part. क्योंकि लोगों को ये चीज समझ में आना चाहिए कि कैसे करते हैं वेंचर को, कैसे बिल्ड करना है हमें. Second is promotion of entrepreneurship itself. So none other than our Prime Minister has said this thing, that see, if you look at the number of jobs which are available in the market, they are always limited, whether formal or informal. So it means rest of the people, whether they like it or not, they will adopt entrepreneurship. So how do you promote that actually, that kind of culture? Fortunately, in a country like India, we see entrepreneurship is there in our blood. So we are a little better off, but still there is a lot of things that we need to do on the second part of it. Third is all about building their capacity, which includes training and the skilling. And again, Digital Saksham में इसके पर काफी काम हो रहा है. And fourth is all about the market linkage. So morning में हमने stories भी कुछ लोगों की सुनी, they were talking about कि जैसे market पहले limited था, now they are able to access it. इंडिया में तो फेसबुक मार्केट इतना ज्यादा बड़ा नहीं है, बट यदि मैं नेबर स्टेट उसमें देखता हूँ बांग्लादेश में, वहां पे हमारे ई कॉमर्स से ज्यादा बड़ा फेसबुक कॉमर्स है. दे कॉल इट एफ कॉमर्स बोलते हैं वो लोग, बहुत ही कॉमन है वहां पे ये चीज एफ कॉमर्स. हमारे यहाँ ई कॉमर्स है, वहां पे एफ कॉमर्स है. Right. And last is that business support services. So people need that. What are the digital tools? If they were to grow, how do they comply? And this, so that once they comply, they become formal and they come into the fold of someone like the PM who can lend to them. So I think to summarize, credit is definitely very important, but that alone will not take us too far. We have to build the entire ecosystem, and more so when you're talking about women entrepreneurs, they need more support, they need more hand holding so that they can contribute more to the nation. Thank you.
Thank you. PM, if I may come to you, Mukesh ne abhi highlight kiya कि कैसे ट्रस्ट एंड अवेयरनेस दो इश्यूज हैं जिनकी वजह से एमएसएमईज डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म्स चाहे डिजिटल लेंडिंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स हों उनको लेवरेज नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। तो फिनटेक इंडस्ट्री की तरफ से क्या एफर्ट्स लीड करी जा रही हैं ताकि ये अवेयरनेस और ये ट्रस्ट बिल्ड किया जा सके, क्योंकि फिनटेक हैज अ वेरी की रोल टू प्ले।
I think, let me be honest, it's in state maybe fintech as an industry. So they may not have that kind of budget or what you call to go and do that kind of business because they're still building their products. But in building projects, I think they're solving a lot of problems. Like lending can be done with ultimate data, your mobile usage, right? Other means of whatever transactions MSMEs are doing, those on that can lend them. So that is happening. And if you ask me, awareness and education has to happen in a big way because all the MSMEs need to understand that they have to come to formal economy. When I say formal, they have to come out of cash economy and they have to come to formal economy where your bank statement is important, right? Based on that, you can get a lot of funding, right? अगर आप वो सोचेंगे कि अगर मैं वो करूंगा तो मुझे टैक्स भरना पड़ेगा, राइट? थोड़ा बहुत टैक्स भरना पड़ेगा, लेकिन टैक्स भरने से स्केल कर पाओगे। नहीं तो जिंदगी में कभी आप वो स्केल कभी नहीं कर पाओगे तो छोटा ही रह जाओगे। तो आपको एमएसएमई को स्टेप लेना ही पड़ेगा। और अगर आप बुटी बैच का बारे में बोलते हो तो अभी रिसेंटली एक छोटा सा इनिशिएटिव स्टार्ट किया है, इस कॉल्ड एमएसएमई भारत मीट। हम ये सोचते हैं कि अभी सीआईओ है, एक नए प्रदर्शन दिया, उन्होंने मुझे इधर बुलाया, अभी उनसे बात चल रही है, वो सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं। तो we have to collaborate now. All the industry bodies, associations, people like fintech companies, we need to collaborate and increase the awareness, right? So we are trying to get all the ecosystem partners on one platform, all the MSMEs, all the industry bodies, associations. So everybody can work together as one team and we can work across to a multiple location in the country and scale the business. So for example, MSMEs need so for digital, they need a good partner. So they can't spend a lot of money. So we as Rubidas were trying to find out such people across the country and give them. And mentors, I think all the MSMEs need mentors, but they can't afford 1 lakh rupees mentor or say 10 lakh rupees mentor. So we just try to be somebody with say 2 mentors who are industry veterans. So they will provide say about 5,000 rupees per man day. So they will give that mental service to MSMEs. So this kind of initiative, I think, and this can be done by I think banks, NBFCs, all the fintech players together. I think that's how things will improve a lot.
Okay, thank you. Ronak, Namrata had mentioned about how newer emerging technologies like artificial intelligence are being used to achieve population scale for providing credit. What I want to ask you is, could you tell us what are the newer models that are emerging in the fintech lending space to reach the really micro and small entrepreneurs?
Okay, so see, earlier the lending to MSME was based on assets. Now that entire model is changing and it's going to cash flow based lending. And probably that is the key thing when up to a level, I agree with my fellow panelists that all of the MSMEs need to be in formal channel because let's say today if you're filing your GST, believe me, there are technology and solutions available with banks or NBFCs or fintechs where this amount real time in our account. The problem is, and where I little bit disagree with Anand or PN, is that it's not the awareness of the technology, but it's the mindset of MSMEs. If I give a simple example, let's say micro enterprises, okay? Probably why all of us are talking about UPI today, the adoption rate of UPI in micro enterprises was tremendous. And this is the reason we are seeing this kind of volumes. Be it a small shop or a pawn shop or a vegetable vendor, fruit vendor, whosoever you talk about. All of them have UPI faster than all of us. You know, we talk about technology, so any of the any of the restaurant chains or the technology use better than all of us do. Or probably trying to using technology to and find person in the room.
So probably it's not a question of awareness, it's the question of will and mindset. When we say we divide between micro, small, and medium enterprises, micro is phenomenally and scale more control. Simply talking about AI, which we are talking about, we launched a score which is called fixed score, which is finance, income, and trade, and with creation and mentorship of Sudhi. But it's a score basic university IPL and restatement of what we used to go say about disbursement MSME teams are this based on showing for next 5 crores. That's been and all the tends to data in articles, which we have information privacy one. And it's a fear I feel a statement or just out. So it's come in. The key thing is that also the session links or cash flow is which we are talking about. Actually, micro enterprises are so far because at least they have most of them very so points but 15 citizen would at least put the either PhD in my statement, my statement on IPM. Students, MSMEs, say let's say certain income sort of financial future. 4% kind straight social cash data should citizens all of us to come to the proper things solutions are different differential micro MSMEs, just to give a simple example, some which was launched on 6th of June this year, which were crediting subsidy schemes. I got 6 months more missing transactions with 3 lakhs. Okay, so those kind of people technology and so microfinance solution for so it's not that people are not aware, it's something that mindset and it's in institutions like CIM can sometimes sovereign enterprises.
Thank you. Mukesh, if I may come to you now, if there's one point which we've heard as a major challenge since morning at this summit, is the hardship which women entrepreneurs have to face. MSMEs in themselves have a problem that needs to be solved in their access to credit. But when it comes to a women MSME, I think it multiplies multifold. So what has your experience been with Digital Saksham and how are you, solving for this problem?
You said it rightly. Gender is not just an economic issue, it's a social cultural issue. And therefore it has to be seen from the multiple perspectives. Our experience says that women are by and large very positive and willing compared to even men, I would say, to come forward and try new things. उसमें issue नहीं है. कई बार issue ये आ जाता है कि घर परिवार वालों की सहमति के बाद भी आप ये काम कर सकते हैं. तो भाई हैं, फादर हैं, तो अगर इकोनॉमिक एसेट्स अभी उनके कंट्रोल में है और अभी महिला जो है वो बाहर खुद से डिसीजन नहीं ले सकती हैं, तो ऐसे सर्कमस्टेंसेस में जब तक उनके बाकी के परिवारजनों जो इन्फ्लुएंसर्स हैं, जब तक उनसे बात नहीं करेंगे तब तक हम आगे नहीं बढ़ पाते हैं. उसके लिए केवल वहीं तक ही नहीं बात करनी पड़ती, बिकॉज 1-to-1 तो कैन बी वेरी चैलेंजिंग बिकॉज दिस इज अ वेरी कॉस्टली अफेयर कि you go to each household and try and explain to each of the family members. So therefore one has to see it from more of an ecosystem perspective. तो वैल्यू चेन में कई बार हम देखते हैं कि किसी हैंडवर्क के क्लस्टर के अंदर ट्रेडर या मास्टर आर्टिजन है जो 50 आर्टिजन्स के साथ काम करते हैं, तो आप उनसे बात करेंगे,
उनको कन्विंस करेंगे तो फिर ऑडियंस को कन्विंस करना आसान हो जाता है। और इसी तरह से बहुत सारे सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स हैं कई जगह पर कोऑपरेटिव्स हैं। भारत सरकार ने अपनी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एमएसएमई के थ्रू कॉमन फैसिलिटी सेंटर बनाए हैं जहाँ पर 200 से 500 महिलाएं या कई बार जेंट्स और पुरुष और महिलाएं दोनों मिलकर के काम करती हैं। तो वो एक लीगल एंटिटी है। वो लीगल एंटिटी में अगर वो 200 से 500 लोग अगर आपको डायरेक्टली मिल जाते हैं तो आप इनसे बात करना रूबरू करना आसान हो जाता है। और एक दूसरे से क्योंकि वो एग्जाम्पल्स देखते हैं कि आपके यहाँ कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आ रही तो फिर मुझे भी शायद नहीं आएगी, तो थोड़ा आसान हो जाता है जेंडर पर्सपेक्टिव को हैंडल करना। तो मेरे ख्याल से स्केल और स्कोप ये दो चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट हैं कि आप अगर नंबर्स को बढ़ाना चाहते हैं तो हमें इस तरह के एग्रीगेटेड मॉडल्स के ऊपर फोकस करना पड़ेगा rather than one to one. Thank you.
Thank you. Namrata, if I may come to you now, as Mukesh highlighted, there are social cultural biases here. But when we talk about technology, technology has this ability to transcend biases. So how is the fintech industry, if I may ask you, if not, consciously, but by, it could be by design or it could just be default. How is that helping solve for this bias?
So I won't claim to have specifically focused on women-led businesses, but I'll talk about how technology can possibly remove gender as a variable or a component in decisioning. And because all of this is possible digitally, it may help women spend less time in approaching a branch, approaching their networks for loans. That is one. The second is the AI models today that are built using various data points to assess the business performance don't take the gender into consideration, of course. And they look at the business for what it is. How is it fared? How is it doing? What are the business cycles? And perhaps that could be one way to look at it at scale. So today, using our score, we have, decision credit for 50,000 MSMEs, and there are a fair number of women-led businesses as well in that. That is one approach. The second is with directing credit towards women-led businesses. What a score allows lenders to do is to aggregate information at a geographical sector level, at a segment level, at an industry level. So imagine different women businesses operating in various spaces. And if lenders can get visibility into them as separate tools, it may be possible to strategically then direct credit and say that right now the need could be in textile-oriented women businesses based, say, in the North India. And using an AI-based scoring, it's possible to direct credit flow better. So that will possibly be
great. I have thank Namrata, Ronak, and Mukesh and Anil. Thank you for that extremely engaging and insightful discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we'll have to call it a day here because I have to much to wrap up this session. But very quickly, I'd like to thank all of you. And just to sum it up, it was very interesting to hear it's not just the MSMEs, who are struggling to access credit, but let's look at fintechs who are trying to make this happen for the MSMEs. So it's a two-way street, I believe, which requires both the sides to take the right steps. In terms of the demand side, the MSMEs, as Mr. Mukesh Gulati outlined, that there are issues of awareness and trust that need to be addressed. To do it at a population scale, it needs to become a movement. And as Anil highlighted the role of helping women, which is a very important aspect, helping women access credit. And the way Namrata explained to us the role emerging technologies are playing in this space to remove biases and to also reach the last mile. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much to all the distinguished panelists and to Ms. Anandita for bringing out the best and fruitful, enriching views from our distinguished panelists. We have our ministers' schedule a bit delayed, so we will be beginning with our next session. Our next session on digital tools eliminating barriers for women entrepreneurs. We shall be beginning the session after just a couple of moments once we have the changeover in place, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin our session on the digital tools eliminating barriers for women entrepreneurs. May I invite our distinguished panelists for the session. May I extend a welcome to Ms. Chetna Sinha, founder and chairperson, Mandeshi. Ms. Sinha, kindly come on the stage, please. Dr. Alka Kaul, Director, Horizon Industrial Products Private Limited. Ms. Swati Chaudhary, Director, Network and Development, Women's World Banking. Dr. Tamal Sarkar, Senior Advisor, Foundation of MSME Cluster, who will be our distinguished moderator for the session. And for this session, we have two more speakers joining virtually. We will have Ms. Smita Agarwal, CFO PTC Industries Limited, and Ms. Kamna Agarwala, Director GDPA Fasteners, joining us virtually. May I now request Dr. Sarkar to kindly take over the session, please. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. It's a real pleasure to be a part of this very important session, as it was pointed out in the very early in the inaugural session regarding the importance of the digital world and also for MSMEs. And it was also very heartening to listen to the CII efforts and I would call them the narrative classes, which are basically here and express their satisfaction with the Digital Saksham project. So, for the distinguished panelists and delegates and MSMEs who are present over here, I'll just start with giving a little fact regarding MSMEs, which is now more or less known to most of the people, that there are approximately 63.4 million MSMEs in India. There are many countries who do not have this much of population. So that's a huge number. But interestingly, almost 99.5%, 63 million are actually micro enterprises, and around 85% of them are basically nano, or I would say home-based enterprises. Medium, that's approximately 330,000 small and around 50,000 of medium enterprises. If you look at the status of the women enterprises in this thing, it's 20% of the enterprises are women, but they are mostly in the nano enterprise category. Approximately out of this 13 million women enterprises, almost 13 million are in the micro enterprise or the nano enterprise category. And only approximately, I think, around 35,000 in the area of medium and small. That's a very well, which can be filled up. Now, another interesting data which I would like to present to you is that PSUs, the public sector units, are supposed to source from MSMEs, and they have given a revised target of 25% of the sourcing from this MSMEs. Very interestingly, they overshot their targets. So they overshot their targets and they made it for 31% of the engagement from the MSME sector. There is also that 3% has to be done from the, it's 25%, 3% was supposed to be done from the rural enterprises. But unfortunately, it's 0.36%. So while the MSME target was more than achieved, the rural enterprise target was could not be achieved or could be achieved only after 20% to 3% indeed. Now, another interesting aspect is this the digital aspects, and we have seen that digital India is moving fast, as the data have shown in this area. But there are various challenges which we continue to face. The efforts of CII in the area of Saksham, CII and MasterCard in the area of Saksham, of course, is a matter of great encouragement. But we have to see some what can take this measure to India, to the entire country. Send me the seminar because I'm supposed to measure this conversation. So I will start this session by asking the first question is sorry. So Ms. Agarwal is the Director and Chief Financial Officer of PTC Industries Limited, a manufacturer of critical and supercritical metal components for aerospace and defense. industrial application. That's the highest level of MSME sector. I would like to ask, inquire that do you think that the MSME, the women MSMEs, that the targets are not being fulfilled? Is it because that we have a database of such enterprises which we can approach to, or we simply do not have such a database? And the second issue which I would like to ask is that how do you think that, what are the major impediments you think that are there in the area of women enterprises becoming digitally section at the highest level, and not only for the larger MSMEs, but also at the nano MSME sector?
A very good afternoon and thank you, Mr. Sarkar.
Sorry, I think you are muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's okay now. Yeah, it's
Yes.
okay now. Please go ahead.
So good afternoon to everyone, and thank you for having me here. It's a real privilege, and it's also extremely heartening that we are doing this session as part of the Maiden MSME Leadership Summit. I was not able to hear your questions very, Mr. Sarkar, because I think there's some echo. I believe you were talking about the challenges that perhaps women-led MSMEs face, and the importance of having databases. Is that what you were talking about, and the sort of the challenges that women-led MSMEs face? And very honestly, I think there's so much deliberation has already happened today, and we've spoken at length about this at many occasions. The importance of having more women in the entrepreneurship, and with India on such a strong growth trajectory, it's extremely important for us to mainstream women and to bring more and more women entrepreneurs into the forefront. And therefore, some of the challenges that are being faced by women entrepreneurs, organizations like CII and platforms like Digital Saksham will go a long way in alleviating the problems that are being faced by women entrepreneurs and the challenges that they're facing. Could I request if the main output could be muted, because I'm getting an echo here. My voice is coming back. So just to carry on, I think possibly one of the biggest issues that women entrepreneurs face is related to the societal norms. The idea of having more and more women as entrepreneurs, and the sort of businesses, the sort of characterization that we allocate to women. And therefore, platforms like Digital Saksham, having networks where women support women, and of course, a larger ecosystem is created for women to give them access to finance, to marketplaces, is extremely important, and also to educate them about some of the initial stereotypes and biases that exist. Primarily, we've seen that from a societal point of view, women, of course, are considered to be primary caregivers, and therefore taking on challenges such as leading businesses, becoming entrepreneurs, setting up their own organizations is something that extremely is much more challenging for women, if I may say so, than it is for men in the current framework. And the other thing is that as women leaders, certain personality traits which are not traditionally associated with women and their characteristics, of holding authority, of perhaps having more aggressive roles in leadership positions, are things that challenge women and that do not facilitate their journey as entrepreneurs. And perhaps these are things that organizations like ours, the work that we are doing, and the platforms that we are creating can help to alleviate. A bigger thing is to be able to provide access to robust networks where we can work on major components like providing skilling, giving access to finance, possibility of approach to markets, and the most important and the thing that we are here to discuss is how digital tools can be used very strongly to empower women. And using technology, a lot of the challenges that women have traditionally faced can be alleviated. And therefore, if we are able to maximize and leverage the advantages of technology for women and allow them to access we've seen the transformation that has happened in this country with the large of bank accounts in the world ever for women, and the direct transfer schemes that have happened where a lot of funds have been transferred directly into women's accounts, and where women have found the financial security in order to run their households and then also perhaps to venture into their entrepreneurial journey. And if we could support this with networks and also better policies, better governance, and take advantage of the skills that women bring, I think this would be a greatly wonderful step to take, and one of the most important, if I may say so, for the progress of this country and for India becoming, the 5 trillion and the 10 trillion economy that we hope to. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. You have raised two very important aspects. That's the use of technology and also the social recognition and the social needs. There are certain types of behavioral aspects which are not generally assigned to the women entrepreneur. It's not expected from the women entrepreneurs by the general society per se, and which I think are things which have to be the things of the past, as you rightly said. Come back to you once more, but in the meantime, I will just go to Ms. Chetna Sinha. Ms. Sinha is the founder chairperson of Man Desi Bank and Man Deshi Foundation, and we have been awarded with the Nari Shakti Purushkar, which is India's highest civilian award. It's a pleasure to share the dais with you. Thank you, madam. I would like to put you, so because since you're back thinking, that how do you think is that more and more women enterprises be given more and more bank-led financing? And what are the problems that they face when they come to financing? And can digital technology or digitalization solve these issues to some extent?
Sure. Thanks, Tamal. And I'm thankful to CII and MasterCard to invite me for this panel. You're coming directly to the question that what are the challenges women face, women entrepreneurs, to access finance or access capital? Now, to respond to that, I would just say that when you presented you presented as statistics, right? That where women are standing in this whole landscape of women entrepreneurship. So World Economic Forum did a study which showed that it will take 130 years to bridge that gap as far as women economic empowerment is concerned globally. Now, my obvious question is, do we want to wait for 130 years? Obviously, no. So then whatever we want to do very aggressively. And here I would say that when to address the financial access to capital, what did Mandeshi Bank do? Because on the supply side, you have so many eligibility criteria. I need to have a credit rating in the public platform. If I don't have, I don't get the loans. I need to have balance sheet. If I don't have, I don't get the loans. I need to have an ITR. If I don't have, I don't have the loans. So how do you address that? And in that, what we did was we created an alternative credit score for women entrepreneurs. And I think that is very important. And when you do that, how do you do it? Because women do not have collateral. And without collateral, your score will come down. So then you create an easy way of finding out the working capital of women entrepreneurs. So if women are provided, they do not have balance sheet, But if they have a cash flow which is available digitally on their mobile phone, they will be able to show that to the banker. And how to do that? Through accounting app. So number one, having a credit rating score for women entrepreneurs, which is more useful, helpful to them. Number two, to have their digital score, cash flows on the accounting tool. And very most important part I do see in this is that how do we reduce the risk of banker? Because bankers are not going to lend if their pain is not reduced. And how can you do that? Number one, if they have their transaction history, bankers will feel comfortable. And the most important part I do feel is that if we take a purchase guarantee, here what I mean is that if I'm an entrepreneur and if I am provided a purchase guarantee, so what Mandeshi did is that have women entrepreneurs on e-commerce platform, have their data of sales on e-commerce platform. If they showcase that, then the bankers feel that, okay, this is their sales register, how much sales they are doing. Based on that, banker decides how much loan I can provide to this women entrepreneur. I say this with one example. Savita is making t-shirts and she sells it. She bought a machinery of 25 lakhs. It was a huge loan, but then we provided a purchase guarantee and we requested companies like MasterCard, Accenture to buy this product, get it on the digital platform. We are part of ONDC also. So Sarita has the trajectory of her cash flows, trajectory of her sales. Bank looks at it and decide that, okay, I am ready to give you loans. So Savita will not get into debt because she's a first-time entrepreneur. Failures can drop her out of the system. This is very, very important. And I would like to, with this example, what I would like to say is that Mandeshi is using these digital tools to create an ecosystem to give the confidence to women entrepreneurs. And we are using radio, chatbot, and helpline for women entrepreneurs. And I'm proud to share with you that we are not going to wait for 135 years to bridge the gap. We have impacted 1 million women entrepreneurs. We are celebrating this year. And now we are looking forward to build the 500,000 brand, which are owned by women entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. It was really very heartening to listen to the numbers because that's something which generally misses out when we are into the field of development. And also the role that the private sector can play in promoting the developmental sector is also a very important area, which I feel is being often getting overlooked. I will now come to Ms. Alka Paul because she's sitting just next to me because there are so many names and new names. So Ms. Alka Paul is the director of Horizon Industrial Products. And she is also the executive member of CII Northern Region and executive member of ATMA and past chairman of CII Government State Council. It's a pleasure to share the dais with you, ma'am. I would like to, I'm sure that you have many issues to say, but since you're coming from a very front-ranking MSME, I will say from the 13 million women MSMEs, you are among the top 0.1 percentile range. So I would like to know, there is a theory which is also going on in the international literature that women enterprises promote more women employment. Apart from whatever you have points to say, if you can share this, your views on this particular aspect for the world.
Thank you so much. I thank CII and MasterCard, and I'm happy to see a mixed crowd here. There are females and men both present, so it's a good thing. Yes, female women as an entrepreneur has been talked a lot. MSMEs has been talked a lot for ages. MSME is a very good kitty party topic. All the ministers use it. and it's an essential backbone industry, sir. And females, yes, now are coming up. अगर हम 50% हैं जनसंख्या में, तो 50% की हमें वेटेड एवरेज तो काम में भी मिलना ही चाहिए। हाँ सर, ये बिल्कुल सही है कि अगर आई थिंक सिर्फ औरतें हों और औरतें ही औरतों को प्रमोट करें, ऐसा तो मैं नहीं कह सकती सर, वो थोड़ा बाइसनेस है। मेन भी प्रमोट करते हैं सर, क्योंकि आजकल आई थिंक दे हैव रियलाइज्ड कि फीमेल्स इन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग आर नॉट जस्ट इन द सपोर्ट स्टाफ, दे आर इन द फ्रंट लाइन. And in my own company, I have female workers working on the press shop. And now my target is to get a forklift female जो हेवी व्हीकल में आता है, तो अभी वो मुझे नहीं मिला है, तो फीमेल प्रेसेस चलाती है। एंड आई मुझे शुरू में इनिशियली रेजिस्टेंस मिला था, क्योंकि एक टेंडेंसी होती है कि औरतें आएंगी तो मेल वर्कर्स काम नहीं करेंगे, बट over the 5-6 years now, I've seen they're pretty comfortable. And females are also pretty comfortable. Of course, we have to follow some norm. They need some separate areas and all that, but otherwise they're comfortable. In my own company, we try to skill them. If you may have, and sir, many of the females actually can't read and write. I was told by one of my customers कि आपको सिर्फ पढ़े लिखे बंदे रखने चाहिए। तो मुझे ना उसको पलट के बोलना पड़ा कि ये फिर अनपढ़ कहाँ जाएंगे, उनका क्या करना चाहिए सर? तो उसका उसने मुझे कोई जवाब नहीं दिया। तो अब हम उनको एटलीस्ट हिंदी पढ़ना सिखा रहे हैं, लिखना तो जो सीख जाएंगी वो सीख जाएंगी, तो अब हम हिंदी पढ़ना सिखा रहे हैं, क्योंकि हमारे वर्क इंस्ट्रक्शंस हिंदी में लगे रहते हैं, तो उन्हें थोड़ा तो बट एंड दे आर वेरी हैप्पी, दे टेक आउट टाइम, वी गिव देम टाइम फ्रॉम आवर वर्क शेड्यूल, तो वो कोशिश कर रहे हैं। अब कितना सक्सेस तो सर वक्त ही बताएगा, बट ये एक माइंडसेट बड़ी कंपनियों का भी रहता है कि सिर्फ जो पढ़ लिख सके। सर आधी से ज्यादा जनसंख्या पढ़ी लिखी नहीं है, तो उन्हें काम करने का हक नहीं है या जीने का हक नहीं, तो नहीं कह सकते ना। तो हम लेते समय भी सर उन क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं देखते, हम ये देखते हैं कि काम करने की कितनी इच्छा है। काम करने की इच्छा है तो हम लेते हैं। अब मेरे एजुकेटेड स्टाफ में भी आई हैव फीमेल who came as a steno. Right now, she is looking after the entire marketing. I have kept pushing her because I feel कि females have a capacity. हम चालू कहीं से भी करें, हम में आगे बढ़ने की होती है कि हम कर सकते हैं, और फिर मल्टीटास्किंग भी कर सकते हैं। Though I hate this label of multitasking because I feel men have given this to us to get away from doing 2-3 jobs together. So because brain is the same, whatever medical science might say. So yes, as a female, I'm doing, but then I do have to say, my father is this also along. It's a family-run organization, and he has been very supportive. So if a man was not supporting, if my plant head was not supporting, who happens to be a man, I couldn't have achieved it. So yes, men are changing. They are more open now. And females are also changing, sir. They're coming forward to working in these areas also. पहले नहीं करती थी, 9 to 5 job, secretarial job, but अब वो करती है. So I'm happy. And as for digital, digital has helped in many ways. So we females also need to network. Like men do networking, we also need to network. So digital has helped us कि हम online, like CI has done a lot of meetings online, a lot of trainings online. So now that has also helped us we don't need to, because kai bar late traveling becomes a security issue, especially in Delhi NCR region. So that has helped many females also. So I do have to say the digital transformation, especially after Corona in manufacturing, has actually been tremendous. IT sector, service sector, it was already there. But हमारे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में होता था कि कंप्यूटर पे तो आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते, जूम, माइक्रो टीम्स एंड ऑल, ये इस पे काम नहीं होता, प्रोडक्टिविटी नहीं होती। बट अब जो ऑफ साइट काम है, फाइनेंशियल डाटाज हैं, आपका स्किल बिल्डिंग है, वो बहुत कुछ ऑनलाइन हो जाता है, तो उससे भी बहुत हेल्पफुल होता है टू अपग्रेड आवर टास्क फोर्स ऑल्सो. So that's from my side.
Thank you, ma'am. It's very refreshing to know that there is hardly any bias that whether women entrepreneurs will not only, it's equal. I mean, it's nothing like that. And I'll come back to you once again, but let me now go to Madam Swati Chaudhary. Now, she is the Director, Network and Development, Women's World Banking. Women's World Banking has over 18 years of experience in financial services, MSMEs, agri banking, and financial inclusion. So it's a very big experience. So I'm sure that you will be touching on various issues, but one particular issue which I would be interested to know is that what is the is language a bit to learning for the women entrepreneurs?
Thank you so much. And, thank you, CII and MasterCard. Very pleased to be a part of this really impressive panel. So, before I get to your question, Dr. Sarkar, I mean, we've been listening to a lot of our panelists since morning. And I think one piece when we spoke about women entrepreneurs that got kind of missed was what is the opportunity that women entrepreneurs present to the larger the supply side, for want of a better word. So, Alka ji ne abhi bola, we have 50% of the population. We have today 20% of all the MSMEs are women. We are the fastest growing market which is there. And yet we remain underserved by a lot of financial service providers. If India has to be a $1 trillion economy, as Chetna ji said, we're not going to wait 130 years. It's a very big opportunity. And if when we are not addressing women entrepreneurs, we are leaving significant gains on the table. So it's a huge opportunity. This is the untapped gold. So we really have to start designing products for women entrepreneurs. One other thing that I heard, which I don't completely agree with, is that there is nothing called as gender neutral products. Women have greater barriers. So if you don't design for women and their barriers, women get left behind. Converse is not true. Once you design for women, it will work for our entire customer base. And all our work and studies show that. So the second thing is that there's nothing which is gender neutral. We have to start designing for women. Overall, when we look at women entrepreneurs world over, so this is just not India, we find that only less than 1/3 of the financial service provider look at women enterprises or women as a separate customer base. So like abhi banks mein hota hai ki MSME hai, corporate hai. We have to start looking at women and women enterprises and what they require and start designing for them. That unfortunately is not there. So we need to be slightly more gender intentional in that approach, and that's going to unlock huge gains. Now, I'll just take a little bit more time to speak about what, if you look at women and digital, and then your question of whether language is a barrier. So women and women enterprises, if you look at their relationship with digital, our studies have shown that women have a much steeper adoption curve to technology. They are very fast learners, but you have to take care of three things. Firstly, they ask more questions. And until and unless they are satisfied, they are not going to adopt that technology. Second, they need in-person points, or I would say like they respond very well to role models. So, which is why, what Chetna ji was sharing about this very impressive network that has been built of women entrepreneurs, or Digital Saksham, where you have a master trainer who's helping you out with it and it's able to answer all that questions. That helps women learn much faster. And once they are convinced, they are much more loyal customers, which essentially means that if you have a women customer, she is less likely to use the number of providers that men do. She will give testimonials to other women enterprises, which results in a 30% higher customer lifetime value that a financial service provider gets for women customers vis-a-vis men. So therefore, it's a very valuable customer base. They are very responsive to digital tools and are very high with numeracy. So language usually is not a barrier. And I'll tell you a little bit of a story of my early days with a very large private sector bank, where I'd gone to, there was a, so this was a agri entrepreneur, and this is rural UP. And at that point of time, so many years ago, there was the ATMs did not have anything in Hindi. It was all English. So, I was quite surprised, like, how is she going to withdraw money? How she's going to interact with this technology? And she looked at me and she's like, "ये तो बड़ा आसान है. इसमें तो सिर्फ तीसरा button दबाना है." So it is, if I see the value of it, I will figure out how to use it. You just have to answer my questions. You have to help me understand the value the first time. Then not only will I learn, I will also empower my immediate circle. So with that anecdote, I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you, madam. I will now, is Mr. Sari Chehal here? Miss Chehal is here, or she's on? No, she's not here. Okay. So I will again come back to you, ma'am, once more, and on this issue that there is some sort of a unknown bias, or I will say bias, and think that people think that there are certain products which are meant for, if woman has to do entrepreneurship, they have to be in those products. So, for example, you can say, whenever we go to some livelihood promotion, we ask the woman to stitch something, because we feel that that's the most important thing for them to do. And that's the results are showing. Actually, basically, we have only 1,800 medium enterprises led by women. And also, if some statistics have to be believed, many of these enterprises are, the women are only by name. And it's actually being run by a man behind, I don't know how many of you seen a serial called Panchayat, where it was the Panchayat or Pradhanpati concept. So why do you think that we have this bias? And if at all, if there is a bias, how do we get out of this bias? Because you are in a different zone altogether.
Thank you. This bias is there. Sorry to say this, कि हाँ ये होता है. Many times I walk into a room, client is talking to the guy next to me. Initially मुझे बहुत बुरा लगता था और मैं अपने father को कहती थी मैं दिखती नहीं हूँ क्या लोगों को. तो like a father वो समझा देते थे और मुझे बहुत actually it took me some years to understand. फिर मैंने ना एक attitude develop किया और मैंने कहा कर लो जितना बात करना है, sign तो मैंने ही करना है, ठीक है कोई बात नहीं. So over the time, then people realized कि, and then somebody told me कि you need to speak up. क्योंकि as a nature ना हम ladies सुनती हैं, हम questions भी पूछती हैं, but हम ज़्यादा ऐसे बीच-बीच में बोलती नहीं हैं, irrespective of whatever serials show. So मुझे किसी gents ने ही बोला कि if you want to be heard, you need to speak up. And अगर तुम नहीं बोलोगे तो किसी को पता नहीं लगेगा. तो अब and I knew my subject, so then I used to speak. So for a male dominated, हमारा engineering is a male dominated industry. बहुत actually लड़कियां mechanical side में आती नहीं है, IT वगैरह में ज़्यादा रहती है. But अब धीरे-धीरे थोड़ा नया generation Gen Z में थोड़ा changes आ रहे हैं. ये मे बी इसलिए है क्योंकि पुराने टाइम में ऐसा होता था कि फीमेल्स वर द केयर गिवर, तो उनको खाना पकाना है, स्टिचिंग करना है, नर्चरिंग करना है. So what has happened is कि now things have changed and I would like to point this out fact sir, क्योंकि इसके अंदर ना हमारे फैमिली का बड़ा इन्वॉल्वमेंट होता है. हम बचपन में बोलते हैं सब इक्वल है, हमारे लिए सारे बच्चे इक्वल है. फिर क्या होता है, एक एज के बाद हम बोलते हैं तुम लड़की हो, तुम लड़के हो, तुम थोड़ा ध्यान से रहो. मे बी इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द सोसाइटी प्रेशर, क्योंकि बाहर सोसाइटी वी फील इज नॉट सेफ. तो वो ना एक डिलेमा सा क्रिएट हो जाता है. फिर हम बोलते हैं कि एक काम करो, नहीं नहीं ये वाला मत लो, ये ले लो, ये लड़कियों के लिए ठीक रहता है, टीचिंग या कोई भी. बट देन वी डोंट रियलाइज कि आजकल टीचिंग भी एक फुल टाइम प्रोफेशन है. माय ओन भाभी इज अ प्रिंसिपल एंड शी इज वर्किंग मोर देन हर ओन हस्बैंड. और टाइम्स जब सबकी छुट्टियां होती हैं तो शी इज इन द स्कूल. सो थिंग्स हैव चेंज नाउ. सो दिस इज समथिंग दैट society and the parents need to bring in first, that ki job gender specific nahi ho sakta. One thing is that, so in school we need to, home science is not a subject to be taken only by females. It need to have a, so maybe in schools they need to have this cut off कि भैया इतना % तो मुझको मेल जेंडर लाना ही लाना है इस सब्जेक्ट के अंदर, जैसे हम फीमेल्स को लाना चाहते हैं. सो मे बी सिर्फ इंडस्ट्री के अंदर एक परसेंटेज बनाने से ज्यादा स्कूल्स एंड कॉलेजेस में भी एक कट ऑफ क्राइटेरिया होना चाहिए कि इतनी लड़कियां मुझे इसमें लानी है और इतने लड़के मुझे इसमें लाने, टू बैलेंस आउट द एजुकेशन. वंस दैट विल बी डन, तो देन द नेचर वुड टेक इट्स कोर्स. एंड यस, वर्ल्ड के सबसे बेस्ट शेफ्स आर मेन. तो खाना पकाना सिर्फ औरत की जिम्मेदारी नहीं हो सकती. And men need to change their mentality. Sorry to say this, but I need to point it out. I have seen this happening. आप किधर पे भी जाओ, घर वापस आओ तो वाइफ नहीं किचन में घुस के किचन बंद करना है, ऐसा नहीं होता. इट इज एन इक्वल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. Men may say कि I am being biased towards female, but sir, I have seen this happening. I have actually seen this happening. कि आप ऑटोमेटिकली, मैं गाड़ी बंद कर दूंगा, तुम जाके जरा किचन देख लो. गाड़ी तुम्हारी बीवी भी बंद कर सकती है और किचन तुम देख लो. हाउ डज इट मैटर? सो इट ऑल्सो हैज टू हैपन इन, एंड फीमेल्स ना ऑटोमेटिकली फॉल इनटू द रोल. हम निकल के सीधे घर में जाएंगी, पहले बत्ती, किचन, बच्चे. पर जेंट्स, कई बार ना जेंट्स को पता भी नहीं होता सर कि वो ये बायसनेस कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि एक ये ऑटोमेटिक बॉडी लैंग्वेज में आता है, अनसेड रूल. Somebody just told me outside they learned to take credit, and I realized that yes, we need to learn to take credit. So कुछ चीजें औरतों को सीखनी है और कुछ चीजें आदमियों को सीखनी है. तो once these will, और औरतों को बोलना है बहुत पोलाइटली, इसमें कोई लड़ने की बात नहीं है. और जेंट्स को बड़ी पेशेंटली ये बात सुननी और समझनी है कि बच्चे पालने की जिम्मेदारी दोनों की होती है, एक की नहीं. पेरेंट्स को देखने की जिम्मेदारी भी दोनों की होती है, एक की नहीं. ऐसे ही सर, तो जब ये सारी छोटी छोटी चीजें हमारी सोसाइटी में आएंगी, तो स्टिचिंग के लिए सर मोहल्ले का टेलर ना जेंट्स होता है सर, लेडीज तो बहुत ही रेयरली होती हैं. आप सूट सिलवाने जाते हो, अपने कपड़े सिलवाने जाते हो, तो जेंट्स होते हैं टेलर वहां पे. तो लेडीज स्टिचिंग कहाँ से? पापड़ बनाने की जिम्मेदारी सर लेडीज की क्यों? जेंट्स भी बना सकते हैं, पिक्कल जेंट्स भी बना सकते हैं. कहीं मुझे ऐसा लगता है औरतों को भी थोड़ी इनसिक्योरिटी है, अगर मैंने ये उनको दे दिया तो मेरी अहमियत कम हो जाएगी. बट सर, एक औरत की अहमियत पापड़ और पिक्कल बनाने से तो नहीं होनी चाहिए. सो ये लेडीज को भी समझना है और जेंट्स को भी आना है. तो मे बी 50% दोनों चलेंगे तो आई डू बिलीव कि विल हैव अ मोर जेंडर बैलेंस्ड सोसाइटी. जेंडर न्यूट्रल तो कुछ भी नहीं होता, तो बट बैलेंस्ड जरूर हो सकेगा.
थैंक यू वेरी मच. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. आई एम श्योर कि हमारे जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स है वो भी आपके बातों को बहुत ज्यादा या प्लीज ऐड.
I just wanted to add one thing, that it has a lot to do with the way the national skilling programs are being developed. So there's a lot of tailoring, beauty classes, all that which is there. And now we see a little bit of change, like you have women in STEM and they're being trained on other things, but a large part of it has to be on the because the largest contributor to the skilling in India today is the government. So it's a little bit of change required from that end as well.
Yeah, okay.
I will come back to this is a very important aspect because this actually hits us at the roots because if the fundamental thought process or if we are genetically if I take it to extreme that we are programmed to think like this right from the very beginning. For example, जितने भी बॉलीवुड में अगर बच्चे को सुनाना होता है तो मम्मी गाना आती है मैंने पापा को गाते हुए कभी नहीं सुना कि बच्चे सो जाओ so we expect certain things to happen in certain way so probably there needs to be a departure at some place to think like this and as you were saying that basically the education system the types of things that we are putting the pictures that we are putting in our textbooks everything are basically very critical to change the thought process. So I'll come to Ms. Agarwal once again and to take your brainwave on this particular, I can consider it a simple question at a level.
Thank you, sir. And actually, I have a completely different view on this, and I come from an industry which is defense and aerospace, highly technology and innovation oriented. So and one more thing I would like to add before I say anything else, sir. I think as a country, we must all acknowledge that India is primarily run by its women. The point is that there's so many women who are working in the informal sector. They are not formalized and their contributions to our country are not counted as part of the GDP, which is why we always typecast and have this stereotypical approach about what women's role is in the progress of this country. But if you go across the country and you see women are everywhere, we have over 18 million women in the panchayat system. So they are even running the country in terms of governance. Of course, we suffer from possibly things that are traditionally, societally have been ingrained in our mindsets. And this comes as a long history of different things that as a nation that we've been subjected to, and of course the typecast that has been given to women. But definitely I would not say that there is a genetic role. If anything, women have a better propensity to stick to what they commit to. They have a better propensity to manage finances. We have surveys, we have information and data to show that women are much more financially prudent than men are. When they borrow, when they take loans, they are much more likely to repay on time. They're much more likely to service their debts. And women-led businesses fail much lesser than men-led businesses. So I personally think that attributing women to only certain type of roles is something that is a problem with the mindset and also with a lack of recognition for the kind of contribution and work that women do in managing and running this country and in contributing to its economic growth. We know that, for example, when you have schemes like the Mudra Yojana, 70% of the beneficiaries of that have been women entrepreneurs. So the only requirement that is there is to, things that platforms like this and Digital Saksham, CII with MasterCard are doing is to give women that kind of education, provide them with the networks and the support system to get access. And the other is to reinforce their belief in themselves that they do not need to be typecast to certain kind of industries or certain sort of businesses, which, like even Alka ji said, traditionally we say, oh, tailoring and cooking and all of these other things. That's not what women are only good at. Yes, they may be having a head start on some of those kind of businesses, but women, we know as a country, the entire mass program, which is I mean, it's a landmark in the history of what a country, as a country, we could do, and of course, a huge tick for us in terms of how we manage that has been a women-led program. The kind of initiatives that women in this country took during COVID, the entire textile industry, the managing of the when they needed the PPE suits, that was the entire textile of manufacturing and producing those PPE suits was something that was managed by women. So women have those capabilities. They, like I said, one, the traditional mindset, the sort of lack of recognition, and add to that is sometimes the attributes that we associate with women, which are considered to be more uh, docile, more subservient, and therefore certain industries which require less aggression. If more and more women were to come into leadership roles, and that happens when you have more and more women entrepreneurs in the ecosystem, then automatically women will start venturing into a lot more industries that will level the playing field, and I think that will bring a huge amount of progress. The fields like ours, like defense, like aerospace, like heavy engineering, like industry, will benefit tremendously from the diversity and innovation and the kind of mindset that women bring. Thank you so much, sir.
Very much. It was very well received. I will just like to now conclude the session, but just with a quick 1 minute from you, madam. That, what do you think that what sort of skills, etc., are to be required to for the ecosystem to help the promote women entrepreneurship?
So I would like to say that we have a lot of things we have talked about the ecosystem creating for women, but I feel that the most important part is on the supply side. As a banker, I should get a confidence to give loan to women. And I think that is very important. So bankers should learn. They should get awareness. And I'll give you very briefly one example. We got a borrower who was running a channels in our area. Like she had those discs and she had started a business and she was asking for 25 lakhs rupees loan. And all the bankers denied. Why? Because this is not the area where women do business. So there is a possibility of failure. We said we will give you, but also start a debt counseling for you. So give a big loan, help her in counseling, make sure she becomes a successful, then she will become a role model. If you have a role models of not just making a papad making, but have a role model who are running the TV channels or what you mentioned about the aerospace, then the other women will come. वो सब आगे आएंगे. I always say one thing, never provide poor solutions to poor people. And I will say never provide poor solutions to women entrepreneurs. वो लोग जरूर आगे आएंगी और उनके जो एग्जाम्पल होंगे, वो जो रोल मॉडल होगी, बिजनेस लीडर, अगर हमारे गांव में बिजनेस लीडर्स होंगी तो देश में बिजनेस लीडर्स फैलेंगी.
Thank you very much. And with this note, I would like to just quickly invite Ms. Manusha Gogoi, who is one of the entrepreneurs here in the to say a few words. Is she here? Oh, she's not here. Oh, is Miss Preeti Ardish is here? Mamushi is here? Okay.
पहले हम आप सभी को नमस्ते कहते हैं. मेरा नाम मामुश्री गोगोई है. मैं आसाम का धेमाजी डिस्ट्रिक्ट मास्टर से हूँ. मैं एक ट्रेनर भी हूँ और एक बेनिफिशियरी भी हूँ. मैं भी यूपीआई में एडॉप्ट किया है और यूपीआई एडॉप्ट करने से हमको बहुत लाभ होता है. बैंक आने जाने के लिए कम समय लगता, जाना नहीं पड़ता है. और पेटीएम से हम लेन देन करते हैं और इसलिए हम हेलम को हम ज्यादा से ज्यादा टाइम देने पा रही हो और पहले हम एक गामोसा एक दिन में तय कर लेते रहे, लेकिन अभी हम आने जाने के कम समय के लिए हम और एक दिन में हम 2 गामोसा भी बन पा रही हूँ। और मैंने उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन भी किया है, और उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन करने से हम मुद्रा लोन मिल जाएगा, और मुद्रा लोन के लिए हम बैंक को जोगाযোগ किया है, और मेरे एंटरप्राइज स्मॉल है, छोटा है, और छोटा को मैं बड़ा करने के लिए मुद्रा लोन लेना चाहता हूँ, और मुद्रा लोन लेने से हम हमारे एंटरप्राइज को और बड़ा करना चाहता हूँ, और हैंडलूम को आगे आने के लिए हम सोचते हो, और हमारे गांव के महिलाओं हैंडमेड से कपड़ा तैयार करके उसका इनकम करके वो घर चलता है, इसलिए हम हैंडमेड को आगे और आगे लेने के लिए आगे आने के लिए हम प्रोसेस किया हो, और इसलिए हम हमारे एंटरप्राइज को और बड़ा करना चाहता हूँ। यहाँ पे हमको आने के लिए जो मन की बात प्रकाश करने के लिए आप लोगों ने हमको यहाँ सांस दिया है, इसलिए आप लोगों को मैं धन्यवाद कहना चाहता हूँ, और थैंक यू CII, थैंक यू मास्टर, थैंक यू।
The enthusiasm of the speaker, really heartening to see the enthusiasm. May I call upon Preeti Ardish? Is she here? No, she's not here. Okay. So, thank you very much, panelists, for your inputs, and I believe that the participants over here have also enjoyed your inputs, and CII will take care of this inputs very seriously and put those learnings into their forthcoming programs. Thank you very much. Okay, please. Yeah.
Good afternoon to all of you. Myself Preeti Ardish. Actually मैं एक स्कूल रन करती हूँ। एक चीज और बोलना चाहूंगी मैं, सबसे पहले एक थैंक्स CII के लिए, और एक जोरदार क्लैपिंग फॉर CII। सॉरी, आपसे ज्यादा तेज क्लैपिंग तो मेरे प्ले क्लास के स्टूडेंट्स बजा रहे थे। एक्चुअली मैं एक बहुत छोटे से एरिया में स्कूल रन करती थी, प्ले, दैट्स 2017 में, ठीक है। बट वही कि मैं घर से निकली, मैम ने शायद सर ने किसी ने बोला था कि एक महिला उद्यमी के लिए काम करने से ज्यादा जो प्रॉब्लम फेस करते हैं ना, वो है उसके सामने समस्याएं, और उन समस्याओं को मैं बस ऐसे कहना चाहूंगी, जैसे जब कोहरा होता है ना सर्दियों में, तो हम रुक जाते हैं, कि आगे तो रास्ता ही नहीं है, अब हम आगे चलेंगे कैसे। बट अगर हम एक स्टेप 2 स्टेप आगे बढ़ते तो रास्ता अपने आप दिख जाता है। तो रास्ता मुझे दिखाया CII ने। एक बार जोरदार क्लैपिंग फॉर CII। आपसे ज्यादा तो मेरी आवाज निकल रही, क्लैपिंग की भी नहीं आ रही। बट कोई नहीं, बट आप इतना कह सकती हो कि मेरे प्ले के स्टूडेंट्स को आप लोग compete नहीं कर सकते। देखो, काम हर कोई करता है, मैं भी करती हूँ, आप भी करते हैं, एक हाउसवाइफ भी करती है, सभी काम करते हैं, बट उस काम को हमें दिखाना कैसे है, मैंने अपने काम को कैसे दिखाया, ये मुझे सिखाया CII ने। एक बार जोरदार क्लैपिंग फॉर CII। मैं बहुत कम शब्द यूज करूंगी, ज्यादा नहीं बोलना चाहूंगी, क्योंकि सबके पास एक प्रॉपर टाइम है। बट मुझे जब भी किसी प्रोग्राम में जाती हूँ ना, एक चीज का बड़ा अफसोस होता है, वो है मेल फीमेल का रेशियो। मैम ने बहुत अच्छी बात बोली, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा कि अगर ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में महिला उद्यमी आगे आई तो देश जरूर विकास करेगा और बहुत जल्द विकसित देशों की काउंटिंग में आएगा। तो मैं एक बार फिर से CII को थैंक्स कहना चाहूंगी, जहां मैं 2, 4, 5 धीरे धीरे करके 10, 20 इस तरह से बच्चे पढ़ाए थे। तो वो 2-4 से 10-20 पहुंचने में जो मेरे को टाइम लगा, उससे बहुत ही रेयर टाइम लगा मुझे उस 10-20 सीट से 200-300 स्टूडेंट्स लाने में। क्योंकि काम करना आसान होता है, लेकिन उस काम को दूसरे लोगों तक पहुंचाना कि आई एम द बेस्ट, ये मुश्किल होता है। और ये सिखाया मुझे सीआईआई ने। तो एक बार जोरदार क्लैपिंग फॉर सीआईआई। थैंक यू।
मैं ये और जोरदार तालियां के लिए नहीं बोलूंगा. I think we had enough, good lot of good clappings. And thank you, madam, very much. And thank you, everybody. And let's close the session here. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am.
That was quite a lot of energy. Thank you so much, Kamal sir and the distinguished panelists. So now one of the most important parts of the summit, the felicitation ceremony. We all have heard such inspiring and wonderful success stories. The positive outcomes are always encouraging and require celebration. And then in this view, we are holding this ceremony. For this, may I kindly request our chairman, Mr. Shrikant Somani, the chairman, CI National MSME Council. Sir, kindly come on the stage, please. May I request Mr. Ashok Sehgal, co-chairman, CI National MSME Council. Dr. K. Nandakumar, co-chairman, CI National MSME Council. Mr. M. Ponuswamy, chairman, CI Southern Region MSME Subcommittee. Mr. Santosh Kumar, Vice President, Government Engagement, MasterCard. Also, we have with us a special guest, Mr. Sanjay Kapoor. Sir, may I kindly request you to kindly come up on the stage, please, for the felicitation ceremony. Mr. Sanjay Kapoor, he is the co-chairman of the CI Manufacturing Council, and he's the chairman of the Sona Comstar. Please. I would now be calling upon the names of the people who would be felicitated here. And I would request our Honorable Chairman to kindly celebrate and kindly honor them with a memento. So may I first call upon Ms. Malobita Sekia to kindly come up on the stage, please. Ms. Malobita Sekia, do we have her with us? Okay, please. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a great work being done on the ground. A big round of applause. Ms. Rajbala Mehta. Ms. Rajbala Mehta. I would request, in case the people are not here, if somebody could take the certificates on their behalf, please. Miss Aarti Manohar Kandale. A big round of applause. I guess we should not be, limiting ourselves at this moment. It's really encouraging for all the people who have just embarked their journey. Mr. S.P. Singh. Miss Meheru Nisha. Mr. Ganpati Jha. If Mr. Ganpati is not there, can somebody take the certificate on his behalf, please? A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Gayatri Tanti. Miss Gayatri. Yeah. Next is Mr. Shyam Das. Mr. Shyam Das. Okay. And Mr. Sarabjit Singh. Thank you. Thank you so very much, our distinguished office bearers and our guests. So, sir, would you like to say just few words, encouraging words for our entrepreneurs?
It's, I'm sure it's been a wonderful journey for all of you who've received these certificates, and thank you very much for believing in us. But let me tell you something, that out of the 64.3 million MSMEs that we have in our country, 94% are small and micro. And I think our endeavor has been to we've touched a very few numbers, but we are very happy to even acknowledge all those who've come forward. And I'm sure our programs will reach deeper into the depths of India and make sure that entrepreneurs who are in this space of small and medium industries benefit and are a part of the $5 trillion economy. I thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Somani sir, for your encouraging words. And with this, we come to the close of the summit. Thank you to everybody
Mr. Somani, Dr. Nandkumar, Mr. Ashok Segal, and Mr. Ponduswamy, Mr. Sanjay Kapoor, and Mr. Santosh to, for encouraging the SMEs, micro and own account enterprises and sharing their valuable time with us. I would like to sincerely thank the audience for being a wonderful audience and cheering up for our micro enterprises. And not the last, but I would like to thank our distinguished speakers whose information and the knowledge that they've shared with us today has been very valuable for all of us. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot and have a good day. We will now have the lunch and I would request everybody to kindly join us for the same, please. Thank you.